Welcome to the Talltale Tavern, the monthly TTRPG one-shot podcast. I am your host once again, regrettably, Scott Esmond, and we are here to kick off part 2 of our space horror adventure, The Lament of the Void. Joining me for part 2 of this adventure, just trying not to die first, Princess Goose. Welcome back, Goose.
Hi.
Woo, as Artie.
Woo.
What was your character again?
Correct. Artie, the rock gnome artificer.
Hell yeah, I love it. Creative names as always. And also here at the bar, the love of my life, except for my wife. Will Ramos is here as Goolian Usanj.
Hello, that's me indeed. When I sent you that text, I was like, I really hope he either does the Borat voice or he reads the qualifying text that he has to say it in a Borat voice.
Yeah.
So
well,
either way, you succeeded, my friend.
As you know, it's physiologically impossible for me to say the words "my wife" not in a Borat voice. It's just how it works.
Very true. The psychologist gave you a diagnosis years ago, and they were accurate.
Well, what's your character again?
Goolian Usanj, a rogue plasmoid who's in it for the money.
Also here, just a frog in space, trying not to croak, Chadlantis.
That's beautiful.
Perfect. That was amazing.
Welcome, Chad. Welcome back. What's your character again? Remind us.
My name is Glorp, but everyone calls me Glorp. He's a frog in space, just throwing darts, smoking darts.
Hell yeah. Super cool. And finally, last but not least, he failed his wisdom saving throw, so all credit for this contact goes to his Lovecraft patron. Squishy tentacle hugs. Our tavern master for the evening, Ryan Singerman, is here. Ryan, welcome back.
Thanks. Glad to be here. Looking forward to having more creepy fun.
Yeah, fun. Let's hope for fun and less of the creep. How about that? Ryan, I think I'll just say that I, by the way, am playing the character Bug, who's a Thrikreen Cleric, and then I'm going to hand the reins back over to you to be in charge of the show. Here you go. Take them.
Right on. The young Githyanki stirs in his leather-bound chair, the fan blower in the ceiling of Talltale Tavern sputtering intermittently, causing him to glance upward. It seems to be struggling against that annoying sulfurous odor permeating the room. The incense burner near his chair smolders faintly, masking the unwelcome scent as best it can. His drink sits by his elbow on a low table, slowly warming, grossly untouched due to his enraptured attention on Lament of the Void, a blue and silver tome he has been devouring ever since the bartender, ever exuding his classic old-world charm with his bald head and warm smile, handed it to him. Around him, the other patrons of Talltale mill about. He spies the bartender serving a gif whose uniform is so starched, it's a wonder he can even move. A fleeting thought about searching for a timepiece to determine how long he's been sitting there reading barely crosses his mind before the book's dark mysteries reel him back in. Desperate to learn the fate that awaits the envoys from Dawnstar Salvage Works, his eyes dart across the page, spellbound, as the narrative unfolds once again. The vast canvas of the universe's endless night is punctuated by the glowing embers of countless stars, swirled into pinwheels of galaxies and streaked with the awe-inspiring, multicolored nebulae. The overwhelming beauty of this serene expanse often pushes the creeping fears of the yawning void to the back of the mind. When truly beholding the immensity of creation, it is easy to forget that those tiny pinpricks of light, while possibly light years in diameter, are nothing more than grains of sand floating in an empty ocean of unending darkness. While most life clings to these beacons of sustaining energy, there are other, unnatural forms that prefer the deep places in the universe. Tangled masses of timeless horrors emerge only once an epoch, veiled by whispered prophecies of doom and damnation, heralded by galaxy-shaking catastrophes such as supernovas or waves of psychic solar storms. For sentient beings living on or off worlds in this forever astral sea, these mind-shattering and soul-ending threats rank well beyond the mundane concerns of space hydras, nautiloid fleets, spelljammer ghost vessels, or sudden explosive decompression. Among the brave and foolhardy sent out to confront such horrors are 4 beings: Glorp, a feisty Grung who never removes his ever-present sunglasses; Bug, a nervous Thrikreen adorned with a massive hand-knit scarf festooned with pockets; Artie, a cunning gnome accompanied by her mastiff-sized mechanical cat companion; and Goolian, a no-nonsense plasmoid sporting a knitted hat. Their mission, a race to secure the Brightwarden's Aria on a first-to-the-prize salvage operation. The Aria, a titanic vessel of supreme renown, has fallen to an unknown threat, now listless and adrift in the void. After an unusually unsettling journey, their arrival is met with bulbous, sinewy monstrosities, possibly twisted remnants of what once roamed the ship. We rejoin the team as they shift the monstrous weight of a fallen creature off Artie, shaking off the physical and psychological toll of the encounter. Standing on the deck, the group looks fore and aft. Ahead lies navigation and the bridge, while the crew quarters and galley beckon from the aft, promising both answers and possibly more dangers. Roll the intro. You are standing on this basically battle deck between the fore and the aft. To the fore, you see a small, simple sign leads to the bridge and to the navigation. To your aft is another small sign that leads you to the crew quarters and galley.
And the only life sign that we had when we scanned here was the monsters that we just fought, maybe?
Those were the biggest pings that were gathered at that time.
Well, if we're here to get paid and look for the crew, I think we should head to the crew quarters. But if we want to find out what's going on with the ship, bridge also makes sense. What do you guys think?
I think Bug thinks optimal chance of finding survivors in crew quarters.
That's good, kid.
Sounds great.
Let's go to crew quarters.
All right, let's crew quarters it up.
You all step to the aft, going towards the hatchway that leads to the aft of the ship, where it says crew quarters and the galley. You cross through the threshold, stepping in. The subtle hiss and click as the threshold door shuts behind you. Your ears pop. A subtle reminder of the atmospheric pressure held tenuously by the hauntingly thin and fragile walls of the ship. Blinking rapidly, you adjust your eyes to the dim, blurred light. Your vision is suddenly sluggish and hazy, as though you are rousing from a tormented sleep. A mad clicking and skittering noise suddenly assaults your ears, like thousands of tiny needles tapping and scraping against metal. You turn sharply, a wave of vertigo and nausea rushing over you, your stomach twisting as though rejecting the air itself. Desperately, you search for the sound of the whizzing, whirling, clicking noise. The scenery around you blurs, a distorted mess of shadows and light, yet the faces of your teammates remain eerily sharp. They stand stock still, eyes wide and mouths agape, black ichor spilling in slow, oily streams from their eye sockets and nostrils. Before you can process the horror, the skin begins to ripple and crawl, the unmistakable movement of countless tiny forms swarming just beneath the surface. In an instant, the nightmare manifests. Thousands of chitinous insects, horrific hybrids of tadpoles and beetles, pour from their mouths in a grotesque, writhing avalanche. Their frenzied wave surges forward, an amalgamation of clicking limbs, dripping ichor, and alien malice, drowning your senses in its eldritch presence as your very mind and will are being assaulted. I need each of you to give me a wisdom saving throw. This is a private, to the DM only, wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good. Yeah, you're hearing more bug chittering than you're even describing because I'm shaking. Bug is shaking looking at this. All right. Private roles, people. You don't even get to know, listeners. Nobody knows. Maybe I can put what people rolled on the video, like underneath their names or whatever.
Or it could be exciting for the viewers to try to figure out if something's different about us.
Your brain buzzes. Your eyes slowly clear. You blink rapidly, looking at each other. You are all staring at yourselves, your crew. Your normal self is returned. Your head still swims, nausea still at the back of your throat, but seems to be subsiding. Whatever that was, maybe has passed. You now stand in the companionway, a narrow vestibule that is a longer hallway with two doors set into it. One leads to the galley, and one appears to lead to the crew quarters, as far as you can tell from here.
Is everybody else cool?
Psychic disturbance detected, but bug is normal.
All right, just making sure we all saw that.
That was weird. Your face is just like oozed.
Yeah,
And
oozy face, right?
Stop being faces, and then their faces.
Me all
again.
the time, but yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
I'm used to
forces
the
are
ooze,
present.
but not like that.
I guess if it's over, should we just keep on to the crew quarters?
Before we go, I need Artie. Feeling all right?
I'm feeling great.
Give you 4.
Perfectly fine.
Well, 2 thumbs up because I only have thumbs on 2 of my hands, but then my other hands go up. They point the little praying mantis hooks up.
This companionway appears unnaturally straight and clean. It runs 10 feet by about 45 feet in diameter. Its walls unmasked and pipes neatly arranged along the ceiling. The lighting is dim but steady, creating a soft amber glow that gives the corridor a comforting appearance. The air is still, with only the faint scent of metal and something faintly floral. You see a shadow on the floor, as if something was casting it from light above, but no clear light and no clear obstruction is visible. As you walk and look towards the doors along the basically right side of the hall from where you entered it, it feels like the air is almost clinging to you. And as you look about, the light seems to cast shadows that shouldn't be from the position that they are in on the ceiling.
I'm just shaking my head no. I just don't. Bug just doesn't like this, but if everyone's still moving forward, he's following along. I want to actually. How long? Like we're entering a room right now, right?
It's basically a long hallway, and on either side of the hallway, there is a door that goes to the crew quarters. And now that you're looking at it, you can see it actually says flight crew quarters. And there is another door that leads to the mess and the galley.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off till we get a little bit further then on maybe casting Spirit Guardians.
So we're in like a little hallway, still headed to the flight crew quarters, and the shadows are weird.
Shadows do seem weird here, yes.
Is there any way, I don't know, I could just kind of like stare at the shadows, try to see if there's something.
Give me you want to do perception or investigation? What do you want to do?
investigation, actually.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
14.
So as you're kind of holding back the rest of your team, it sounds like they're walking a bit towards the flight crew quarters. You're unsettled by something. It just doesn't feel right. And as you're looking about, your innate sense of the natural is buzzing in the back of your brain, and you blink again, and suddenly this companionway shifts right in front of your eyes. It's like this narrow hallway has suddenly become a gauntlet. You see that there are twisted pieces of cloth and filth, old blood, scratch marks where desperate hands have clawed on the metal. The pipes and the wiring actually dangle from the ceiling, some leaking dark, viscous fluid, and that on the floor there are pools of greasy patches on the floor. You see at the far end of the hall, hanging from a pipe, suspended like a grotesque marionette, is a lifeless body. The corpse swings slightly, as if moving by an invisible breeze, its head lolling at an unnatural angle, and its clothing is soaked in grime. That air is now suddenly thick with a metallic tang that bites at the back of your throat. And there is the unmistakable smell of both bile and an iron hinge to the flavor of the air. In the back corner, diagonal away from the crew quarters, you see a cluster of 3 power crystals, ones that you were looking for from these weapons, that are in a pile of discarded uniforms and looks like organic debris. They still pulse faintly, but as they pulse, they reveal small beetle-like creatures that are crawling in and around them. The rest of your team appears oblivious to all of this.
Can I inform them of all of that?
You can do anything you like.
Yeah, I want to inform them of all of that, that I see some power crystals, see some uniforms, pretty much everything you just described. I want to describe back, but I am less descriptive than you.
That's totally fine. Everybody make a wisdom save with advantage, as you now are being explained what is going on here by your teammate.
And these aren't private? We're just
These are
rolling
not
it?
private.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. With advantage.
Okay. I got a 12.
Okay. Artie, you can see it in glimpses, but it's like your brain is still not processing it. You'll catch it for a second, and then you'll see back the more pristine version of it again. So it's a bigger struggle for you. Bug?
Bug got a 24.
Bug, you instantly see the nightmare in front of you, and it is not being replaced by any other image. Goolian?
I got an 11. So.
Yep. Well, you already had the save earlier, so you can see these overlay trying to pop back in over it, but you're able to see through it the entire time. And Glorp?
Also got 12.
Yep. You, like Artie, are able to see through it, but it takes a lot of focus and concentration. But you catch glimpses of maybe reality?
Place is gross.
Bug, do you know anything about these little beetles we keep seeing?
I'd love to make some sort of check to let you know if I know anything about.
Yeah, give me a
those
nature
beetles.
check.
Nature check. Let's
I
see
don't.
what
Maybe
we
that was
got.
racist of me. I just assumed you were a bug. So
Nope.
Maybe
Bug
you
doesn't
knew
know
about bugs.
shit because I got a 5 on that nature check.
You know enough to know that these look like essentially carrion beetles. They are found in many ships, almost like you would find rats. You wouldn't be able to tell a lot about them, but think of it like a space cockroach.
Invasive pests. Danger level minimal?
I would have cleared this with you beforehand, but would Bug be offended on these missions if I just ate these beetles? Do you feel connection to other insects and bugs?
I don't think so. In the same way that we as mammals don't necessarily feel bad for every mammal that gets eaten, I think I can live with, I'm not the cockroach from Men in Black. I can live with this. Yeah.
Glorp just eats these beetles as he comes across them.
Okay. As you come across them, and
I would say that consumption of anything on ship probably bad idea.
I've been through worse, kid. I'll be fine.
Oh God.
You gotta take your free food when you get it.
Take an inspiration for that. That was great. Just go ahead and eating these bugs right off that. I love it. As you eat these, you definitely get a taste of a little bit of carrion taste to it, a little bit of age and filth. And as you were chomping on these, you're disturbing the pile of discarded uniforms, and these power crystals just kind of slide down and are laying there at your feet.
Nice crystals.
It's big money. Let's grab them. Yeah.
I say, how much are the crystals? Weapon crystals. Each ship should have at least 3 power crystals, each worth 125 platinum. So, okay, yeah.
Yep. All right, so you guys can add 3 of those power crystals. Now, you are, at this venture, you are standing in the corner there where these power crystals were. There is a corpse literally hanging above your head, and just behind you is the doorway to the crew quarters.
Are we able to identify this person? Is anyone, I'm assuming they're are they high? Are we able to reach them, or are they really high up?
Yeah, it's only hanging about 2 feet off the ground, but it was like somebody was hung.
I mean, this whole crew is small except for me, I feel like, so I guess I'll
stand on top of Cece and I'll...
Oh, there you go. I like that.
And I'll try.
You get up there and tell you what, give me let's do a dexterity check as you're trying to... Are you trying to untie them, or just trying to investigate? What are you trying to do?
I was just trying to go through pockets and see if there's
go ahead and give
do
me,
wallets exist? I don't know.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, you struggle a little bit because of even as you're working at it, you'll be looking at it for a second, and then it'll poof out, and you just see this pristine hallway, and then it'll come back in. So you're struggling a little bit to search through. You're not finding any kind of inventory on them. They don't have any weapons. They don't really have anything other than a torn and disheveled uniform that identifies as Furbolg as Deckhand Omo Willowfade.
Huh. Another Furbolg.
That's why I could reach the pockets, you see, because they're probably tall. Furbolgs are tall? I don't know. Maybe I made that up.
They are giant kin of some sort, so yeah.
Is someone keeping track of these, by the way? Do we have someone crossing these off?
I just crossed off Deckhand Omo Willowfade from our checklist. So far, we have only found 2 Furbolgs, Gunnar Vilse Lightbloom and Deckhand Omo Willowfade. Okay. And we don't... I can't remember. We don't have to transport these bodies, do we? We just need to find them? Okay.
Just accounting for them.
Because that would be quite difficult to manage right now. Okay. Terrible loss. And I check off that we found them. I'm just giving Bug the duty of the person who's carrying a checklist of names to cross off.
You have more hands, so you can
I just reach into my scarf and pull out a clipboard and check and then put it back in. Possibly more crew in the quarters?
Just keep checking, yeah.
No.
Okay.
All right, you guys go to the crew quarters. The door is slightly ajar. You look down and see there is legit a shoe just kind of keeping it open. Push the shoe aside, and who's the first one in?
I'll walk in.
That seems like Glorp's MO to be the first one in.
Gotta see if there's more bugs to eat in there.
All right. As you step in, the flight crew quarters appear unnaturally tidy. Every bunk made up to military precision. You look around. Each item, boots, uniforms, personal belongings, seems as if in a display, eerily symmetrical and perfectly aligned. The air is completely still, carrying a faint smell of fresh linen. There's a sense that the room is waiting, expectant. Shadows cast by the dim overhead lights fall in unnerving patterns, almost like faces watching silently from the walls. Something about the stillness is just wrong. Silence feels oppressive. Occasionally, as you catch reflections in the mirrors along the walls between the different lockers, it feels like the reflections of the mirror show figures that aren't actually in the room. Impressions of crew, maybe who were going about the routine, only to vanish when you look directly into the mirror. And as each of you walks into the room, a faint whisper seems to drift from the beds, like soft murmuring, but when you try to listen, it goes silent.
We've got like reverse vampires in here or something. It's weird.
They only show up in mirrors.
Yeah, they're only in the mirrors.
As you look about this room, you see that there are 2 rows of beds with these lockers alongside of them. There are 5 along the left wall and 5 along the right wall. There seems to be a small head on the right, and then further beyond that is a relaxation crew area that's got a couple of couches, a couple of tables, and a relatively wide-looking window that spans about 25 feet that is looking out into the starry expanse beyond.
The vibes in here are pretty awful, so I am going to cast Spirit Guardians in this room.
Okay.
Yeah, so like my antennas start just vibrating like crazy fast, and then the darkness kind of converts to light around them and splits off, and you get like 2 fey like lightning bugs, big lightning bugs spinning around us in a 15-foot emanation, as it is called. And I will designate the 3 creatures that are in my party as exempt from its effects of having speed, and if you're in it, you take damage. If you enter it, you're not one of them.
Okay. As you cast this, even though it's not part of the spell, you are sensing something off in the world in which you have entered into this room. So what I want you to do is go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna give you advantage on this one.
I love it. Oh yeah. Oh, well, both of them were 25.
It must have been ordained. You blink your own compound eyes and looking around. The flight crew quarters are absolutely tossed in a foul-smelling mess. Bunks are overturned, their metal frames bent and twisted as if wrenched by inhuman strength. You notice that the bedding is torn and lies in heaps on the floor, stained with a mixture of blood, bile, sweat, and other fluids you really don't want to identify. Personal belongings, uniform pieces, boots, trinkets, all are scattered across the floor, trampled and caked in grime. The walls bear strange, frantic markings, symbols scratched and smeared in what looks like possibly dried blood. Some layered over each other in a pattern of sheer madness. In one corner, a shattered mirror reflects a distorted version of the room with streaks of dried blood still running down its surface. The stench in here is absolutely overwhelming, a nauseating blend of rot and old sweat, and then it's mixed with a faint, sickly sweetness that clings to the air. A few dark stains lead back towards the exit, hinting that something or someone might have been dragged away. As you look about, Bug, you see in the corner a tiefling crumpled in a Brightwarden's Aria uniform.
Okay. I'll start walking toward them, but I'm gonna send out the message. Everyone,
Dark psychic forces. Eyes cannot be trusted on this ship. Dead body.
and I assume dead body. I'm gonna head toward that body and see if they're alive or dead, I suppose.
I assume you're communicating this to everybody else in the room?
Yes. That's
Okay. Let's go ahead and have everybody else go ahead and just do, again, a wisdom saving throw with advantage. We'll be doing a lot of these. And we'll go through. Artie, what'd you get?
18.
You see exactly what Bug is seeing. Goolian, what'd you get?
12.
Okay. You are struggling a little bit, but you're catching it between flashes of blinking, and the more you work at it, the easier it is for you. And Glorp? 14. You instantly see exactly what Bug is describing, and as you look about, you also, all of you see this crumpled body of a tiefling in a corner.
wow.
While Bug goes for that, this is a crew quarters. Can I look around, see if I could find any sort of journal or personal effects that someone would have been writing in that I might be able to figure out what's going on?
Yeah, make an investigation check. And who is going for the body?
Since I spotted it first, I'll head over there.
I'll go there too.
All right. You guys head over towards the body, and you find that this crumpled tiefling body, it does have the identification strip on her chest, is partially torn off, but it's enough to recognize this is security officer Zilgra Embermind. She actually looks like she had tried to hang herself, but had been unsuccessful, had fallen to the floor. You see that the metal piping above had broken, but it looks like she had died mostly from self-inflicted wounds on her arms, legs, and chest. Her eyes are wide and staring, looks like in horror or terror. Glorp, as you are looking about, you have not found anything particularly of interest. And
is that Glorp or Goolian?
I'm saying Goolian, because Glorp was just standing back. So Glorp, you've not seen much. Goolian, neither. But we have Bug and Artie looking at Zilgra here. You do see a small data slate, and there is an entry on it that is still lit. And one of you can read this.
All right. Day marked 20 en route from, this is going to be really hard with an accent, en route from Zirul's beacon to Radiant's Rest. Zilgra states, "Can't stand it anymore. They look at me, brag, Vilrath, even Takhar. They look like monsters now. Dark, hollow pits for eyes, moving all wrong. They shift. Every time I turn, they're shifting, squirming on their own skins. I don't know if it's my own head going, but every breath tastes of rot and salt. Something slithering down my throat, I swear." And then 2 days later, no one's right. Chief's gone. I checked her quarters. Nothing but old scratches on the floor. Things I can't unsee. I've locked myself in there. I won't let them get to me. They don't know about the weapons stashed under the floor panels. I'll be ready if any of them comes for me. They're infected, every last one. I'll defend this place, I swear it, on whatever shreds of sanity I have left. That is not good.
No.
But hearing something about weapon stashes under the floor, I mean, that's where my eyes dart right away to look for any signs of movable floor.
Since you know what you're looking for, go ahead and give me investigation with advantage, because you're like, oh, there's something here. We need to find it.
Yeah. How do you like a 19?
Really good. You look about, and there are a couple of tables, one of which is like just a regular poker table. And you see that there is a rug underneath the poker table that has been kicked up a little bit.
Okay, I want to say the things she described reminiscent of vision earlier. Bad. But I'll head over toward that, and I'll point weapon stash. And
I'll help, I don't know if we have to pry the floorboard or what it is.
Yeah. Well, you push back the table and uncover the rug, and there's just a small access shaft, or hatch rather, right there. Easy to open, it's not locked or anything like that, and you lift it up and you see that there are 3 black cases that are sealed with just a simple clasp on them.
Why seal them at all, though? Why even tell me they're so easy to open, Ryan? Make me mistrust.
So do they have like a code combination on it, or it's just a case? Like you
just
can
think of
open
like a clasp you'd use to keep a toolbox closed. Just a simple little flip latch.
Okay. Well, let's take all 3 cases out of this.
Okay.
Hatch, set them down, I guess, and
Can anyone check these for anything nefarious?
What a great question. Wouldn't it be nice if I could?
Don't we have a rogue in the party?
Yeah, rogue.
I can check them.
Can you look for traps and shit?
Absolutely. But every investigation roll I've done so far, I have +8 investigation, and my last one was 9. So
all right, that's good.
We're high rolling today. Yeah, can I check them?
You may absolutely check them.
What type of roll?
Just go ahead and give me an investigation check, or if you want to even use like a sleight of hand check, you can do that.
I place one of my.
There, 28. There we go.
Never mind. I don't need to. I was gonna give you guidance, but I think you got it.
God.
You investigate these, and you see that they have been beaten and scratched a little bit. Looks like at some point in time they were not treated too gently, but they don't appear to have any traps.
It's good. I don't know, opening these things
one.
up. It's got Glorp written all on it. Quite honestly.
As you open them up, you find inside are a beautiful foam black that's tight, that prevents impact, and you find in the 3 cases, 2 of them are full with 3 power crystals in it. One of them only has 1 power crystal. The other 2 are missing.
Good job, Bug.
Artie found the weapons. Read the message.
Nice
Good
find.
job, both.
Okay, so this is the crew quarters. Everyone else. It seems like the tiefling locked herself in here alone. So,
Is there another door in here, or is this a closed room?
There is a small door to the head. You otherwise see at the complete opposite direction from the one you came into is this large window that opens out into the starry expanse beyond. But no, there's no other doors in here beyond that.
I mean, I'm going to check the bathroom door too, just to, I guess, be safe.
Yeah. That bathroom door opens. You see that it is pretty foul.
Someone
been
did not
cleaned in a
flush.
very long time. There is a simple toilet, a simple sink, a cabinet for toiletries. Everything is askew. Everything is dumped. The walls and mirror in here similarly have been festooned with, looks like, writings and ravings of mad individuals.
The spell of vision is already broken on this room, is what it sounds like.
That's correct.
Okay. I don't see any bodies or anything in here. Okay.
The head appears empty. Rest of crew search. Shall we continue?
And my head is empty too, so let's keep on going.
You guys enter back out into the companionway. You could exit back out to the assembly deck where you came in through, but just the south of you essentially is the galley door.
Galley, let's go. See what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you like galleys?
You go to the galley door, and just kind of knowing what to expect now, I imagine all of you are kind of just like peering in through the doorway before walking in, but I don't want to assume.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not rushing into the room, and I'm definitely, when I'm going in, I'm like really trying to make sure I'm actively focusing on perceiving reality as it is, not as it's trying to present itself.
Yeah, I'm perceiving everything as much as possible, but I'm also not like slowing my roll on it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You will absolutely see, as you look in at first glance, the mess hall and galley look completely orderly and clean. You see tables and benches neatly arranged, plates and utensils perfectly set, as if waiting for a meal that, well, is never going to be served. The faint aroma of fresh baked bread fills the air, though it's laced with a subtle sour undertone that doesn't quite fit. Pots and pans in the galley gleam, spotless and hung with precision, and you see that there's a faint light shining through the cracks of the cold storage to the distant side of the room. There's some uncanny tension in the air. It almost feels like you're looking at a time capsule, frozen. Feel like you can just hear the faint clinking of silverware, echoes as if invisible hands were handling plates and cups. Shadows seem to sometimes gather and linger a little too long in the corners, only to instantly flitter away as your eyes focus on them. The lights still flicker in this room at odd intervals. Occasionally, you get the smell of something rotten, like a person with halitosis. Then it goes away.
I mean, we know the deal by now, right? Can we focus up, try and see what's real?
Yeah.
Since you just make a regular wisdom save, all of you.
Echoes of the dead whisper in this place.
All right, we'll start with Artie.
I mean, just a not advantage.
Not advantage. You know
7.
that there may be something off, but you don't have. You kind of need someone to have the clue to explain what to see so you can see. It's like when you're looking at a magic eye. If someone tells you where to start to focus, you can kind of see through the vision. So yeah, 7, you're still seeing the same thing. Bug?
26.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Goolian?
2.
Yep, you are still seeing the same thing.
I think this is real, probably.
This is the nicest room we've seen so far, actually.
Yeah. Look, everybody sees exactly what we described. Bug, it all comes crashing down on your head. Tables and benches are overturned, some partially broken, while others are slick with dried blood and grime. They've been piled up in a barricade towards the midway into the room, with the actual kitchen area in the back standing off to a side, where there are corpses mounded there and over this barricade. In the corners of the room, you see mounds of discarded trash and food scraps that fester. You see more of those skittering little bugs crawling through the detritus. The galley itself is barely unrecognizable, with pots and pans lying in disarray, many blackened with burnt food or coated in sickly, sticky residue. Get the overpowering stench of rot, mold, and spoiled meat that fills the air, so thick you can almost taste it in the back of your throat. On the wall, just near the galley entrance, you see a smeared handprint that trails down as if somebody had got their hand and slid to the ground. Dark stains cover the countertops, some looking disturbingly like claw marks that are etched into metal inside of the galley. You see directly in front of you, along this makeshift barricade, there are the corpses of what appears to be 4 crew members, all kind of tangled and half covered in fallen chairs and some debris. And then further beyond them in the galley proper, where you see they had the cold storage and some stoves and serving areas, you see 2 additional corpses.
Many dead crew here. Many.
I describe everything that I'm seeing and I guess try to
Look beyond what is in front of you.
everybody, try to help them if I can.
Okay. For the sake of brevity, let's have everybody blink through and try to see through their mind's eye what Bug is describing. And in a rush, it all comes through. You're seeing through this veil. The lighting in here going from the crisp, bright white to almost like a sickly red orange. And you see these corpses. You see the craziness, the depraved fear and horror that these individuals had lived through in their final moments.
One thing we see all these dead bodies, which I'm obviously interested in, but also you mentioned claw marks, and I feel like we've mentioned that a few times. Can I look at the claw marks to see if I recognize what sort of creature they might be from, or their size, or just more info on that?
Yeah. So you make your way around the barricade that is in the middle of the room, stepping beyond the 4 fallen deckhands there, and as you get back to where the serving counters are, where these claw marks are, you also find 2 more crewmates. These 2 are dressed in simple white uniforms, very much like chefs. And as you look at them, give me a investigation check.
Okay, damn, I'm rolling good today. 22.
Okay, so you first see Chef Gorla Deep Brew, who's a massive gif, the head of the hippopotamus type animal or individual, lolling off to the side, and you see his sous chef Ferric Gleamdust, a small kobold, who are both lying there, completely limp. Their bodies are covered in piles of rotting food and scattered kitchenware. You can, with a high of a roll, you can see that they seem to have most likely barricaded themselves in there and then at one point turned on each other. Exactly why, it's hard to say, but they are both stabbed multiple times with congealed blood emanating from multiple wounds, still having different silverware, tableware sticking from their corpses. You turn your eyes, and we'll use the same investigation, to the claw marks, and you run your hands over them. You get the sense that while they look like claws, it's hard to tell if they were made by a creature or made by some kind of clawed weapon. You think back to the monstrosities you fought earlier, and they definitely had some large claws, but not quite sure they would fully fit here.
Unable to determine if creatures are responsible for death, mass psychosis, possible some sort of weapon used in fighting between crew.
What are the rest of you doing as Bug is looking about the room?
I want to be trying to identify these bodies, but also looking for any more personal effects or data slates that might have more notes or info on them as I check the bodies, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Goolian, and give me an investigation check too.
27.
Wow, great. You go through looking at the bodies that are on the side of the barricade, and it looks like from how they died that they had tried to assault the galley or something similar. You see several large lacerations over their bodies. You see a couple still have like meat cleavers sticking out of them. Possibly in a frenzy, they had tried to push in. One of them is holding a fused together weapon that actually has the power crystal that would serve to power a large shipboard weapon. It looks like they crudely tried to implement it into some form of a improvised beam weapon of some kind, but you can see that it had overheated and slagged down to their hand, like it didn't work, and they had horrifically burned their hand. Of these corpses that are laying here at the barricade, you identify deckhand Thizzle Shimmercap, a goblin. You find Quartermaster Vren Darkblade, who is a Shatter Kai. Weapons operator Corin Ashfist, which is a Githyanki. And also Engineer Vorin, another Githyanki.
Bug, did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Crossing them off?
Yeah, they're all crossed off. I'm not even the one
Perfect.
doing it. Someone else is
okay, cool.
beating me to
Sniping.
Looking with that great investigation check, none of them appear to have any scraps of information on them. They all bear markings on their skin that looks like... Actually, make an Arcana check for me, Goolian.
13.
All right, yeah. You recognize that they have each taken something, whether it is a... was it blood, a grease mark or something like that? It's like they have drawn on their own foreheads like an evil eye ward, something that's trying to protect them. And all of those who are dead here are bearing that mark, whether it marked them as part of the same team, the same tribe, or was some sort of an effort to avoid whatever psychic emanations are occurring. It's hard to say. But no notes, no logs on them.
Well, first of all, I just want to be clear. Can I grab that power crystal from the... Okay, cool. Just want to make that clear.
Yep.
All about the money. Goolian wants that money.
What's that bag?
That eye symbol, it's only on those 5 people that he saw. It's not on the chef and sous chef that I found.
Correct.
Okay. If I could... If anyone else has something else they want to do first, I would head over there just to see if I could see if it's any sort of religious symbol or anything like that I might recognize.
You can do that first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
All right. 17?
It does bring to thoughts of many different cultures have the idea of the protective eye. It doesn't necessarily hail from any one religion, more of just the general culture of saying like, bless you. Mm-hmm. This is an eye of protection, asking for favor from the gods in general.
Okay.
So this definitely feels like it was in an effort to probably protect themselves from whatever was going on.
Yeah, asking for help from like a benevolent god, not a mark of worshiping an evil one or anything like that, I suppose.
Correct. That'd be a general interpretation.
Okay.
So what Artie would like to do is, we know that in that missive that we got, the tablet, it says that they're infected. So I would like to see if I could go over to any of the bodies that, like, I basically want to look for anything on them that would show that there's something different about them than how I understand. Like, is there any signs of anything other than them being freaking dead? Like, is there like any anything even magical or like something like even in the blood that's on the floor that like would give a sign of what's wrong?
I would say do a medicine check.
Well, I'm not great at that, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm here with you, so I'll give you guidance, of course.
Okay, we'll get guidance.
I don't think that will help,
I don't
but
think so
I'll
either,
roll
because
it.
I already saw your roll, but still.
Yeah. That's a 7.
Hey.
Yeah.
So in looking at them, the thing that you most detect is all of their faces seem to be in a mix of anger and terror in how they died. You look over their bodies, and other than the obvious wounds that they sustained during their combat, you don't see anything that looks like rashes. You don't look at anything that necessarily looks like rot. Nothing that looks like pock marks. So whether the missive or the log that you read said that they were infected, you don't see any obvious signs of infection per se.
Okay. The only other thing I would do is if we were talking about that symbol, I'm pretty good at identifying like magical stuff. So like if we think it's like if we're confident that it's about religion, then I'll leave it. But if we think it's magical at all, I can try to look at it.
My interpretation is Bug is confident that it's something religious, but it can't hurt to look at it more. I mean,
I'm happy to leave it. Then maybe, instead of that, I'm good at tinkering. Can I look at like the weapon that they were trying to make? Because it looked like it didn't work, right? Like there was something wrong with it, the one that the core was in?
It looked like, you can come take a look at it, the one that was found.
I'd love to go look at it.
Yeah, go make an investigation roll for me.
I got a 23, but mostly like looking at it in regards of like, was this like supposed to have the crystal in it, or did they like try to modify it to have that in there?
Yeah, you look at it, looks like it was something that was cobbled together to try to channel the energy as if someone was trying to make a weapon for offense or defense. It was not meant to handle this, and they clearly didn't get the resonance right because it destructed in their own hand.
Do I think I could have gotten it right?
I think you're very confident you could have gotten it right.
Okay. I'll just keep that in my brain. Maybe I'll... How big is the gun? Can I grab it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty well slagged. There's not much left of it. But
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But I'll just know I could have done it. So that's fine.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's important.
She's like amateur work under.
Yeah, it's nasty. Ugh.
Were there any other bodies in the room? I remember you described the barricade ones, and then I thought there were maybe additional ones.
There were just the 4 that you guys found at the barricade, and then the 2 of the chef and probably the sous chef, as you understand it.
Okay.
Those are the 6 that you found in this room.
Payday's already huge. I'm liking this.
I'm not liking any of this, so I'm glad someone's having a good time over here.
Do we know how long we've been here by now?
At this point, between the earlier combat and coming down here and investigating, you've been on the Aria for a full hour.
Oh, okay.
I look at everybody and I'm just like,
everyone all right? Mental faculties still functional?
Feeling good. We got big money over here.
Doing great, kid.
okay.
Glorp, as you're looking about, just like there was a large bay window in these crew quarters, you've got another one looking to the other side of the Aria here. As you just glance out that window, you see just the faint trace of this purplish cloud start to slowly drift by.
Nice.
All right, nice. Okay.
Glorp enjoys the beauty of a purple cloud.
Cloud's beautiful. Everything else is just black and white.
All right, well, he didn't tell any of us about it. So, was there? You said there was like a fridge, like a deep freeze or something like that in here, right? I remember there was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when we came in. So if we can, I'll suggest.
Perhaps we should investigate the kitchen area.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, all I see over here is just this purple cloud. So something's probably more interesting over there.
Purple cloud?
I'd like to maybe take a look at that purple cloud before we move on.
You go over and you look out the window, and your stomach probably is a bit of a knot as you see the little storm that you flew through to get the Brightwarden's Aria appears to be encroaching on the ship's current position.
Dangerous storm incoming. Immediate evacuation recommended.
It's coming to the ship, right? I don't passed through our other ship when we got here. I don't think there's much we can do.
Can we get on our ship and just fly out of the way from this storm?
You certainly could.
dangerous, Cloud Kid?
I mean, danger seemed present when we passed through it previously.
I didn't like being stuck in a screaming hell for like an hour.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. We could try to get back on our ship and avoid it real quick.
How long does it seem to be until it gets here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
If you were all looking out the window, you have somebody roll with advantage to trying to help figure out, like do a nature roll just to see how long you expect it to pass through.
I can help with that. I'm pretty
Okay.
good at it. Got a 15 nature.
Okay. And with help, you could roll with advantage since you're trying to think it
Oh,
through.
well,
So-
shit. Let's do that again.
Let's do it.
Worse. 7. So take the other one.
That's generally a good idea.
Yeah.
You look at the storm and see it slowly coming in and know that you guys passed through it, but it was really large and you were going pretty quickly through it. If it's naturally creeping by, it might take a full true day or two to pass all the way over and through this vessel. So you could certainly just hunker down and try to wait for the storm to pass. You could ignore it. You can try to go and come back, but you know that the shuttle that you took here, although it does have some capability of getting away, it's not meant for a long-term astral sea travel. It's really just to get there and hunker down kind of vessel.
Okay.
So
I'll
you
say
could
that to
certainly do
the.
that.
I'll say that to the group, but then also, would I know, like, in my mind, is this gonna trip up the vessel that's coming after us? Like, are they gonna be in this as well, or are they still behind this, storm?
If
I had to guess.
What you know is that the vessel, the tug that's coming, is coming at a significantly slower speed, so it's probably going to be basically chasing the storm all the way through to get to where you are.
Okay. I'll say that as well.
I just
We
pull
can
out
go
some
back
tape.
to the ship, or...
I'm good. I'm ready.
I'm a coward. My instincts are to still get on the ship and avoid it, but if we can't reliably sustain ourselves in the astral sea on the ship, then I don't know which threat seems more problematic. So I guess I will go with group consensus, I suppose, on what we should do. If we think we
can
have
go back to the ship and then hang out there.
Would that really be that different than where we are now, though? It sounds like the storm can pass through ships. How long did we have before it hit us?
You feel like looking out there, it's probably going to take another couple of hours to really be in it. So
much time.
it takes
it's moved slowly.
All right. Well, we
Maybe-
got some time. Maybe we see what more we can see and try to get off here within the next 2 hours or so, maybe.
Yeah, we can clear the ship in that time.
Sounds good.
Easy.
Okay.
But we know we got a deadline.
We know that the ship is dead that we're on, right? Do we know why it's not working? Have we assessed
You don't know
that
why
at
it's
all?
not working. You have not found. You know what your job is to find the greater or minor helms, both of which could be used to power and move the ship. And this ship is adrift. It still has clearly some power going through it, but why it's not actively being helmed is probably because the crew is not there. But you haven't found the helms yet, so you're not entirely sure what's going on.
I guess I would suggest we quickly just check this area for any more bodies, and then maybe move as quickly as we can toward the major or minor helm if we can find those, to see if we can move this ship and get out of the way of the cloud.
You would intuitively know the major helm is usually in Spelljammer's quarters. The minor helm could be either in the bridge or navigation area, generally speaking, where they tend to be found. Knowing the layout of the ship a little bit from what you have gained in your debrief, you know that you're on the top deck right now. The bridge and navigation are to the fore. There is a stairwell that'll go down from there to the midship deck where the captain's quarters are, the Spelljammer's quarters, officers, and there's also some cargo areas and all that. So then you've got the bottom deck, which has the main cargo area as well as more quarters and things like the armory and stuff like that.
Right. I have almost no ability to visualize 3D spaces, so that really just doesn't mean much to me, but whatever it is, you know, I'm sure the crew understands, so whatever is closest that we think could make this ship move, that's where I would recommend that we
You would go straight across the assembly deck to navigation and the bridge.
Yep. Did we check the fridge in here, though, or whatever it was?
You have not.
Yeah, I think we should
check
do that
real quick and get the heck out.
Yeah.
I'll start heading to the fridge. I'll check it out.
All right, you walk over to these cold storage and open it, and nothing really lovely in there. Everything is either tainted, rotting. You find what looks like to be internal organs from things that are being kept in there. Nothing that makes sense. The different glassware that is in it that would be kept liquid cold seems to be filled with either bile, maybe even urine. You look at another one that seems to have floating eyeballs and fingers in it. Like it is the cold storage of a madman.
But nothing of value, really?
Depends on how much you value entrails.
Nothing of value. Good to know. All right. Yeah, let's head to the bridge then. If everyone's cool with that.
Close that door behind us. Gross.
Can I try one thing as we're going, though?
Absolutely.
I want to try, now that we kind of get that, you know, when we're going into rooms, even if we can't see it, we kind of understand that it's like, most of the time it's not what we think it is. I'm mostly, as we're walking, I think maybe Artie will try to discern if it's like, is it my brain doing this, or is there something magical that's happening? You know, like, is the shimmer, like when I see between what I'm seeing and then what the real world is there anything to that I might recognize or like be able to discern what it is?
Make an Arcana check for me.
Pretty good. 25.
Oh yeah.
You get the sense that there is some kind of outside force, a pressure. It's subtle and constantly there, almost like the beginning of a headache that's not quite fully materialized. You feel that constant force on your mind, and for the first time, you notice also that whisper. You realize it is faint and nagging and drawing, and you feel a tug towards the deeper recesses of the ship. Nothing you can physically make out, no specific words, but you have a tug, the deeper recesses of the ship. You are present, it is there. You are aware of its presence, rather, but it is not something that you are compelled to follow.
Okay. Maybe as we're walking, I'll just kind of say that. It's like, see, there is something here that seems to just sort of sit, you know, in the brain. Like, I don't know if anyone else can feel it, but it's pulling me down.
Oh, like gravity.
Yes, and other things. Yeah. It's more of a tether. Like there's a string wrapped around my stomach and it's leading somewhere.
Possible source of psychic emanations?
Elaborate, Bug. What do you mean?
Do you feel a pull towards something in the ship affecting us all, or just a general sense of dread affecting us? Does it feel deliberate?
Do I know? Like, is this more like a everyone thing, or is it a specific me thing? Like, do I think I'm the only one who, like, am I specifically being pulled, or is it, or not pulled, but, you know, like that, feeling that, or do I think it's more just like I just caught on to the sense of it and it's happening like around us?
Give me a wisdom check.
I'm not very good at those, but I'll give it a go. Oh, nat 20!
Yeah!
On a silly roll, but it's fine. It's fine. We're
That's a
learning
great
things.
roll to get it on. I'm
Great roll.
This is good information.
You get the strong sense that there is an overwhelming psychic assault occurring on this vessel. And that it is not necessarily targeting just one individual, but perhaps the way the individuals are responding to it may not all be uniform.
Okay. I will say that. Does that satisfy you, Bug? Answer your question?
Is it... So is it... It's pulling you toward, like... Do you get the sense that it's pulling you toward a specific location on the ship? Like there's... Like that's where the thing is that's doing this? I guess is what I'm getting at. Or do we think we should follow that feeling to try to find the source? Or...
I'll send you a thing here, Bug. 1 second.
Okay.
Why not both?
Right, and the way we're headed
Do
is...
we go toward it? Do we go away from it?
That's more where I guess what I'm asking. Is this a feeling we should avoid or something that can be dealt with if we
While
find
Ryan's
it?
typing that, it was giving, it's like, oh, you feel like a buzz in your head. I was like, oh my God, so we're all on SSRIs right now. I don't know if any of my other anxious girlies are here, but it's like you get like the fuzz when you take them in the front of your head. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing.
And the way you said it felt like it's like lower in the ship. Are we headed in its general direction to try to get...
You are currently heading... So you're on the top deck of the vessel. So for those who are watching, so you're on the top. You went to the aft portion, and the bridge and the navigation is in the fore. So you were... So you're going to be going basically across to the front of the ship. Then there is a deck below that and a deck below that. And if you think of it like a cake, each deck is smaller in size than the one below it. So the bottom deck is the largest, followed by the second largest, the second deck, and then the smallest would be at the very top, where you guys are now.
Okay.
Does that make a little bit of sense?
Yeah.
So, Bug, it feels like if I had to pinpoint, it's sort of, it's below us, below the aft. In the lower decks, it just feels like it's drawing me down. I can't speak for everyone else if it's affecting and pulling everyone else, but I feel it, at least for me. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but that's what I feel.
Should we continue toward navigation or follow the feeling?
Well, navigation is the only way where the main stairwell exists to even go lower. So
Okay, well then, hey, we're going the way we're
Choice made for us.
But see, you got navigation, then you got the bridge, but in navigation is a stairwell that leads you down to the next deck.
Since she has explained this feeling, can I try to just get a sense of it myself, attune to that feeling at all?
I actually want everybody to make a wisdom save with advantage since we have talked about this.
Okay.
So once again, and that is a you as well, Artie, give me another wisdom save with advantage.
Talking about things, guys, it really, that's what life is all about. Talking it out.
Wisdom save with advantage with a 13.
Okay, Artie. As we have talked about this, you get a sense that you were on the verge of knowledge and of perception. You feel very confident. Bug, what did you get?
23.
Bug, you feel like a film has fallen off of your eyes and you are suddenly seeing clearly something that you didn't realize you were even missing. Goolian.
16.
Goolian, as you perceive the universe around you differently, it's like you had used some form of a psychedelic that had altered your perception, and now it's like you are coming fully conscious again. Glorp.
3.
Holy shit.
Glorp, you have pulled out a dart and have actually been paying no attention to this entire conversation.
Glorp is just happy to be here.
Good. Which kind of dart do you mean he pulled out? Is he smoking a cigarette? Like, or is he?
Why not both?
All right, perfect.
Could be both. He's smoking and playing with a dart in his hand, and he is completely oblivious. You guys walk through the assembly deck and into navigation. And as you go in there, it is just in front of the bridge. Walking through the door, you've got a wall ahead of you. You see the main stairwell heading down. The actual dimensions of this room are about 50 feet by 30 feet. And for most of you, you immediately recognize that this room is covered in scrawled maps and symbols, torn to shreds, fragments scattered across the floor. Control panels are sticky with blood and other residue, broken instruments lying amongst puddles on the ground. The piping and wiring is kind of slowly swaying and sparking. You see that there are individual stations with star maps, arcane sensors, charting tools that are all in disarray. The minor spelljamming helm. You see the clamps on the floor where it should be, and it is physically missing. You also see along this long wall, there are 2 doors set on either side that lead to the bridge, with the main stairwell heading down kind of in the middle where this wall would be. On either side of these 2 doors that lead to the bridge, there are a pile of corpses. And it looks like they had potentially been attempting to storm the bridge the way that they had been trying to get in there.
I want to investigate those bodies with the regular ID, if they had anything on them, that type of thing.
So there's 2 different collections of bodies. I'm assuming you guys all kind of split up. So,
Yeah, I can investigate another one.
well, they're right there in the same. We're not splitting. I saw.
Okay.
Scott's like, no, not splitting the party.
We know
Yeah,
the
same
same.
room.
Careful about that. Let's never assume
split
we're
up,
splitting
gang.
up. Let's split up, but we form a line where we're all holding hands the
Exactly.
whole time as we investigate both bodies.
Let me have a group investigation check here. And as always, we'll start with Artie.
Yeah, she got an 8.
Okay.
Failure.
Bug,
17.
Goolian,
20.
and Glorp.
15.
Goolian, you are going through here, and you identify that there are 3 of these corpses. You find a Tabaxi, who's a flight chief, a Javel Brightclaw. You find cargo handler Sondal Ironvein. And you also find cargo handler Irina Frostglimmer. Ironvein being a dwarf and Frostglimmer a half-orc. Glorp and Bug, guys going to the other side, you find deckhand Jessa Emberfeather, who is an Aarakocra, and cargo specialist Drex Stonebreaker Githyanki. All appeared to have been cut down, burned and scorch marks across their body. It looked like they were trying to force their way inside, so whoever was or is inside the bridge had successfully kept them out. Goolian, you, in going through these individuals, you find a small notepad.
Daymark 28, en route from Zerul's Beacon to Radiance Rest. Fortify the hold, that's the only way. Took parts from the chairs, crates, anything we could find. Gnarl and I, we're building something. We need to. The others think we're mad, but the walls, they whisper. Something terrible is coming for us all, and if I can hold them back even a few hours, they're coming. We don't know what they look like yet, but Gnarl's seen shadows. I've seen things, figures, not quite there. He tells me it's just the lights, but I know. Daymark 29, en route from Zerul's Beacon to Radiance Rest. No sleep, only the fortifications, this room, this hold. It's a sanctuary, right? But then, who's making that scraping sound from behind the crates? And why does it slither? Seems pretty normal.
I'll start looking around the room for crates and anything behind them.
No crates in this room.
Cool. Normal, crazy
You
ramblings.
intuitively think about the cargo holds.
Okay,
And where is the cargo hold in comparison to where
You know that there is
we were heading?
You know that on the deck below there is a small cargo hold, and that the bottom deck has a large cargo hold.
Well, I'm being pulled downward, so maybe we go there.
You have this stairwell in front of you, and just across from you would be the main bridge behind the doors that were, it looks to be successfully defended.
And we don't. There's no way to control the ship in here. Something was missing, right?
The minor helm was missing, so at this point the ship is not controllable.
Is it? I suppose it's possible it's behind that door or it's down. But since we have something pulling us down, I suppose
You don't want to check I want to check the bridge.
we can check the bridge if you would like to, Goolian. I can try to get in, but it looks like
If the door is
others
defended,
failed.
someone
Yeah.
could be alive in there. I don't know.
Possible survivors.
Can I can see like the door that's defended, right? Does it look like there's any danger in approaching it?
Make an investigation check. There's two doors. There's one essentially on the south and one to the north. Which one would you want to try?
I will try the north, and it's
Okay.
18.
Excellent. No apparent traps on it. All these doors seem to be like pocket doors where they will split in the middle and open to allow passage through. The door does not want to open where you are, but you don't see any traps. So I think that with a little bit of help, you could probably get it open.
Anybody want to help me muscle this door open? Not that strong.
Bugs are strong, man.
I'm a strong one. I have +0, but okay.
-1,
Some of us
baby.
have a -1.
Yeah, okay, fine. All right. Well, I also have
We all have
-1,
-1.
but I get +1. I have +0 to checks because of my luck stone. Like,
Better than me.
Well, you can either each roll a d20 or one of you roll a strength with advantage, and we'll see which how you guys do.
Will, let's both roll a d20.
All right.
Then we should make a strength check then.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you, you virtual dice piece of shit. It was on the nat 20 and it sat there for like the fucking full 2 seconds before just inching to the 8. So Bug got an 8.
Happened to me. In the
I got a
first
14.
episode.
So it's hard, but after a few minutes of effort, you're able to get your combined strength with the claws and with your plasmoid bodies to kind of force it
I
open.
wrapped my scarf around the handle and I'm like tugging on it that way to try to get leverage.
It opens with a hiss and a little of air, as there seems to be a slight pressure difference between the bridge and to the navigation area. You peer around and the bridge is a chaotic mess. Shattered equipment, chunks of flesh on the ground, splatter across control panels, windows that would look out onto this vast expanse over the floor of the ship into the beautiful universe beyond are actually smeared with blood and filth, streaked with clawed handprints of, looks like maybe even desperate crew members. You look immediately to the right. You find the crumpled corpse of a cracked, carapaced monstrosity, sinewy, bulbous flesh lying dead on this bridge. You see embedded in this monstrosity are 2 power crystals, faintly pulsing, almost as if it were in time with a heartbeat. Looking across the rest of the bridge, you see a small elevated platform, and down below it, 3 chairs facing off towards the expanse beyond. You look out, seeing that storm slowly coming across the bow of the ship.
I want to grab power crystals, but I think it's a trap.
Do I see the power crystals?
You both do. Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna dash and just quickly go and grab him once I see him pulsing like a heartbeat.
You pull them out. They're warm to the touch. As you pull them, a static shock pops out, and you see the corpse twitch right beneath it, but lay still.
Bold move. Good job, Glorp.
Standing where you are, you're able to see down towards where the captain's chair would be, and there's two of those other chairs with little stations in front of them. And from now where you were standing, you see two corpses lying there on the ground.
Gonna investigate.
Yeah, I just pointed them out to Goolian. I know he wants to go check them out.
ID and any goodies they might got on them.
All right, Goolian, make an investigation check for me.
28.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow, good and check.
Fucking crushing it.
So you find two people. You see Spelljammer, Aerial Moonlash, or Shadow Kai, and a large Githyanki dressed regally in his captain uniform as Captain Voss Talric. It appears they had tangled with each other. Spelljammer, Aerial Moonlash, is covered in cables, looked like she'd been tied up at one point, and is still clutching a jagged piece of glass, maybe something that came from the navigation consoles, as she has forced it through the chest of Captain Talric, who is at the same time holding taut a series of cables around her neck. As you look about, you see sitting askew, covered in something not so great, is what looks to be the captain's log.
Let's look at that, yeah.
Found some books, Will. Good for you. Now you get to read
some books. Oh boy, this is a lot. All right. Day mark 15. I've failed them. Talra, my old friend. I had to give Mavic the order, put her in stasis, lock her madness away. I told myself it was mercy. I told her it was temporary, that we'd set her mind right, find the helm she hid from us, or piece together what's left of the major helm. She looked at me with those glassy, hollow eyes, half Talra, half, I don't know, not Talra, not anymore. Whatever was there behind her stare, it saw right through me. The crew watched as Mavic and his team led her down to the lower deck, shackled and sedated, like leading a ghost, or a corpse, to her own grave. The Aria feels it too, I know it. The walls breathe with her loss, the lights flicker in sympathy, casting shadows that creep like waiting claws. The metal itself seems to warp, whispering in languages I almost understand, and then slipping away the moment I listen too closely. Damn, but she has doomed us all. The ether storm rages, and it is all we can do just to keep the Brightwarden's Aria from coming apart. No communication at this distance, but I was able to send the distress beacon. I must be strong. For the crew. For Talra. For my Aria. Day mark 21, so a couple days passed since 15. The helms remain lost. Crew morale is disintegrating. They're tearing at each other, snarling like beasts over scraps of hope. Paranoia festers. Zilgra claims she saw Corin's skin ripple as if something writhes beneath, waiting to burst free. Takar whispered to me in the dark of his own bunk that he feels eyes watching him from inside his skull, a second sight he cannot see but knows is there. They look to me, their captain, their supposed anchor in this storm of madness, and I, gods forgive me, I am crumbling beneath the weight. I hear voices in my quarters now, soft as the hiss of gas leaking through old valves, words that slide over my ears and lodge deep in my mind, waving into dreams that turn to rot, the same phrase over and over, "We see you, Captain, we know you." I do not understand it, yet it chills me in ways I dare not tell the others. Day mark 27. Mavic and I tried to rouse the crew, but they're losing shape. They look less like themselves every hour, turning into something grotesque and terrible. Shadows trail them like carrion, blotting out pieces of their faces, their hands. Zara's laugh, once light as a bird's call, now echoes in hollow layers as though her voice bleeds from some other plane. They stare at me in suspicion, eyes darker than the void, and I can see it too. My own face reflected in the glass. My features twist, my eyes, they look at me with something hungry, something that wants me gone, hollowed out. Gods help us. If I could call for aid, if I could beg the stars for mercy, I would. But out here, we're beyond even their reach, aren't we? Alone in this yawning expanse, surrounded by the stench of fear and something else, like cold iron and dried blood. We are all infected. Something crawls through our veins, invisible, but oh, it's there. We cling to the thin threads of sanity, but I fear they will snap soon and will be nothing but husks. Empty, monstrous husks left to drift. Daymark something. It's glitchy text.
Daymark.
Daymark. They are coming. I do not know who or what they are, but I feel it as surely as I feel the blood in my chest beating a rhythm that is not my own. They are coming across the endless dark, a fleet unseen but felt in every shadow, every whisper that coils and dies in the wind. I appeal now to any god who will listen. If there is mercy to be found, let it come swiftly. Let it be painless or swift or true. For in my heart, I know this, they will show us none. We are lost adrift and preyed upon by forces beyond our feeble minds, and soon, we will be nothing.
Oh, please take an inspiration for that inspired reading. That was really good.
That was perfect.
Great job.
Thank you.
You are all still standing on the bridge. The corpse of the captain and of a spelljammer lying there, the captain's log found.
This Talra that the log mentions was brought down, and we are pulled down. Connection?
I think not.
Okay. Well, that settles that. I don't know. I'm just wondering, if she was the first source of madness and she's been brought to some sort of lower deck area, it says in the log, if maybe her madness is spreading, like quite literally emanating from her or something.
Obviously we got to go down there. They said that she had like wrecked the bridge and they needed to repair it. So
said that the major helm was fucked basically, and that she hid the helm or the minor helm like controls or whatever. So it feels like our only real
option is to go down. Just one more thing, at least I want to do before we go down. I don't know if anyone else wants to do anything, but we went to the crew quarter. We got like weird bugged. I'm reading about it in this log. How's everybody feeling in terms of sanity? Can I just like ask the group or just try to perceive? I don't know, not necessarily being paranoid, but just like...
I'd like to do an insight check on everybody's answer when they tell me how normal they're feeling right now.
Status reports on sanity?
I'm feeling great. I'm getting free food. Every room we come across, been seeing cool colored clouds and stuff. I mean, I will say, very weird experience though. Mm-hmm. Not the average ship that we've had to salvage.
I'm just throwing out, I got 25 on an insight check, just if Glorp seems like himself, you know?
Okay. Glorp, what I want you to do is you can send me a DM with your answer. You can either use deception or charisma, whichever one's appropriate for you.
Are you lying or are you telling the truth? I guess.
Roll your d20 and then add that.
That was my roll.
Got it. Perfect.
But are you adding
That's perfect. No, it's good.
Okay, good.
So I will let Scott know here.
Oh, good.
As Bug.
Sowing dissension.
I don't like this. He's trying to turn us against each other. All right, he seems totally normal to me, is how I'm feeling. I take a look at Artie. Artie? Feelings?
Sure, Bug. There's a thing in my body that makes me feel like I want to go down. So other than that, I'm doing great.
Wow, I rolled a 23 on my insight check this time. Just, already seems normal. Because also pulling us down could be a trap for all I know for something, that is affecting her. But yeah, we have read a lot about this crew going crazy and turning on each other, so I definitely want to make insight checks on everyone. Feels like I'm in the thing and I'm doing blood tests, like the blood test scene right now, All right, well, Bug feels satisfied that Artie also seems normal. And even though Goolian's the one who asked the question, I still will look to Goolian.
How are you feeling, Goolian?
What do I need to roll here?
Well, you have to answer first.
First, you must answer.
I'm feeling great. We've made a lot of money today. This ship is weird. I don't like that. But, we got a job to do, and we're going smooth so far.
Fuck. All right,
I'll add the money making to my response, too. But I mean, that's just a great day. We made, 1,000 platinum at least so far. I don't know, quick maths.
Only an 11 on my insight check on Goolian.
Okay.
So if he is, he could be. No.
Goolian, go ahead and either add your deception or your charisma modifier, whichever you choose, and let me know that roll. You can just do that privately in a DM.
Yep.
Well, Bug feeling sufficiently satisfied that his hive is operating as normal just turns to Artie and says,
Can you guide us? You guide us down?
Sure, I can try.
I want to see how Bug's doing. He just asked how we're all doing, but I want to check on him. How you doing, buddy?
Not good. Terrified. Do not enjoy presence on ship.
I was wondering if nobody. I was like, man, if nobody does it to me, it would be you.
Go ahead and roll your insight, and then Bug, go ahead and DM me either charisma or deception.
I got a 15.
Okay. And I will DM you.
All right. Yeah, being really scared is pretty normal for bugs. So seems good. Seems good to me. We can head down the stairs.
Is there light, by the way? I'm assuming that there's some kind of emergency lighting that's on.
So it definitely is more on the emergency side of the lighting. Now that you are all a little bit aware that things are off in here, you perceive that it's a slowly fading in and out between normal lighting, and then it'll fade to more emergency yellow lighting that kind of flickers, and it might come back up. It's struggling between low power and normal power, but mostly normal power.
Okay. And as say if we go, if we're gonna go down the stairs, is it the same thing, or is it gonna get darker, or?
It's all the same kind of emergency lighting right now. If you look down the stairwell, actually give me just a perception or investigation as you're kind of looking down the stairwell to see what you see.
Investigate. 16.
All right. So looking down the main stairwell, you see it's a twist of cables and wires that should be along the wall or on the ceiling are now kind of loosely snaking down around the stairs themselves. There's a faint smell of burnt insulation and copper coming from the stairwell itself. You see near the middle of the stairwell a corpse that is bent over and kind of hanging over a railing. The body is twitching slightly as you see a power cable running through it and kind of sparking, and each time it sparks, it twists. You see that the face and eyes are bloated, bulging, mouth open, and a silent scream. You see one hand is severed and missing. The other is spasming with the sparks.
Great. I guess I'll point it out to everyone. I'm assuming we're all descending the stairs together, unless there was something else someone wanted to do.
Great.
As you guys walk down the stairs, you come across the corpse, and you actually see that there are two, and they have, as you get closer, realize they've been speared through by, it looks like a piece of railing, and they are twitching. You see that there is a navigator, Siflavasa Furbolg, and a engineer, Kyla Nethersong, a Dampier, who are there. It looks like they may have been possibly fighting each other or fighting something else, and they got speared together.
And they're twitching.
They're twitching. Seems to be twitching along with the sparking of some of the wires that are right next to it.
And didn't we just find another body? Who was that?
It's that, but it's actually two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, we thought it was
looked-
one originally.
It looked like
Closer
one,
to-
but now you're getting closer.
Okay.
You can see it's actually.
It's like, man, multiple instances of this happening. Okay, makes more sense.
I mean, do we want to if there's a live wire situation, we probably want to move that somehow, but I don't really have any way to do that, safely.
Would I
can
know
handle
if
that.
my... Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Before you do it, I put my hand on you and I cast a resistance to give you lightning resistance in case you
Nice.
get electrocuted.
Okay.
Well done.
Well, unnecessary bug. I appreciate it. I'll cast Unseen Servant.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easier.
Okay. what form does your unseen
Or
servant
can
take?
cast Unseen Servant? Fuck.
Yep. I think it'll just be literally a copy of me.
I mean, it's
Okay.
unseen. What form can it take?
Yeah.
It's an
mean-
unseen servant.
It'll just be me, but medium size, unseen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Unseen. So
We don't know, but...
Yeah, I mean,
the cable.
Just if I could be taller and handle things.
The cable slowly floats away and is shoved up, still sparking a little bit, but out of a space of danger. And the corpses lay completely still impaled.
Problem
Okay.
solved.
I guess we should continue to descend then, right?
Yeah, I'll keep leading the way, I suppose.
As you guys walk down, you see that there is a severed hand on the ground, clutching tightly to a power crystal.
Grabbing that.
I'm just
Yeah.
picturing Goolian's body with 10 power crystals just
Just
floating
stuck in them.
Flicking
What is
like
it?
a
I don't know.
tornado.
Does that give me any extra? Do I feel energized?
You feel cancer forming.
There's a slow blob that's just getting bigger. On
Your
one
skin's
part
starting
of
to
me.
boil on the outside.
Yeah.
You pick up that as your rest of your teammates are walking on, and you glance up as you look at the severed hand on the ground and look up at the corpse with the severed hand there. Give me a quick perception check.
20.
Wow. You look up at the severed hand and the body that it came from, and you notice a little blinking data slate from the pocket.
Let's
in the
grab
corpse of
that.
it. All right.
Let's do some more reading.
The guy
Congratulations, you're the investigation character.
the guy who doesn't even have eyeballs probably is doing all the reading.
Flight engineer Kyla Nethersong, Daymark 24. They're coming through the walls. I hear them, scratching, slithering. At first, it was whispers, then voices. The crew calling, demanding answers. We're floating, drifting, and it's wrong, wrong, wrong. Nothing stays still. Shadows twist and creep. Even the lights flicker in patterns like they're spelling out words, but every time I try to read them, my vision goes dark. Daymark 27. I couldn't sleep. I looked in the mirror and my face, it's changed. Eyes too dark, mouth too wide, or maybe that's just my imagination. The others won't come near me. Can't blame them. I don't want to be near me either.
Real.
After reading that, can I like look around? Like, well, wait. Actually, do you read those out loud, or are you just reading it out loud?
I read them out loud.
Okay. So can I like after that? It's like, can I like look? Like, does anyone like look different like that?
You want to do perception? Or you want to do investigation?
I'll do an investigation. Oh, not one. So it's a 5, but it doesn't matter.
You take a good look. Well, you look at Glorp, and
Yeah.
he usually has a wide mouth, but now you're not so sure if it isn't maybe a little wider. Look at Goolian. Well, he's never had a mouth, so you're completely unsure. And now you look at Bug, and he's a bug. Does he even have a mouth? Like you are unsettled.
Okay, got
It
it.
wasn't that one. Maybe you just forgot what Bug looks like on a normal day.
Like, oh my god, what is that?
Have you always been like that?
Has Glorp always been a frog? Oh, shit.
You are standing at the bottom of this stairwell, now on this deck. The deck above you is where the bridge is. The deck below you could go down to a larger cargo hold area. But on the current deck where you are, as you're looking about, just south of your position is what is like a storage room, pantry. It's well marked for just like crew supplies. You look to your west, and there are signs for the captain's quarters, signs for the Spelljammer's quarters, and to the fore gunnery. To the west, which would be essentially behind where you're currently standing, you see signs for the officers' quarters, crew quarters, and for the upper cargo hold and the rear gunnery.
Am I still being pulled down, or am I being pulled in a different direction now?
Do a wisdom check for that.
Not very good.
Pretend I know that you're trying to sense out and ask somebody who, god damn it, your roll's not even worth guidancing.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. It's a 4.
What'd you get? A 4?
Yeah.
You feel the tug, and now you're not so sure if you're getting tugged just to the aft or to below.
Okay. I will say that. I'm not sure where to go from here.
Well,
We still got a job to do. We got to find some more bodies. So
job is secondary to survival. I think
Hard cash in if you're dead.
yeah, but
We know that they led the one person down to, like, it says the lower deck. I don't know if that means the lowest deck, but I almost feel like we should go down because we know.
well, they led the Spelljammer down, right? And the Spelljammer's quarters is in here, right? So we should check that out.
Maybe yes. I guess we can. If we know the word Talra, that was the first person to go crazy, right? Talra. So that is, if their quarters are here, then I would be interested in looking at that. The chief engineer,
chief
Talra
engineer,
Umberfen. But I also know earlier we specifically had call out to the cargo hold for like things that were maybe creeping and crawling in there,
crates.
so we could go down to that main cargo hold after that.
And then come back.
Or
Or
we
we
could
could do that quick, give it a look, and if that's all that's down there, then we can come back up if there's nothing.
Fair. I think we should go down lower still. Originally, we were pulled low, and that's
what I mean. Sorry,
yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah,
I'm
the
agreeing with you.
cargo
Yes,
hold.
we
Okay,
should go
got it,
down
got it, got it.
lower to the cargo hold first, and then we can always come back up and explore the rest of the stuff. But we know they brought her down low to like lock her up, and our first instinct was go down. That's my thought. That's Bug's thinking.
Yeah, I would agree.
I usually like clearing all my boundaries before diving deeper so I don't get surrounded or anything like that, but I'm also okay with going faster here if we want to do that.
I'm uninterested in going down, quite honestly. I want to do our job, find more bodies, but looks like I'm outvoted.
crew hive survival is most important, Goolian. The cloud is imminent. If we can find anything hidden below in the cargo hold, maybe.
Sounds like I'm outvoted, but I don't like it.
Oh,
It sounds like a
Goolian, if you
50-50
want,
split more than anything.
we can split up if you want. I can go with you.
Never split up. Absolutely not.
I think that's a bad idea. Yeah.
Same way Artie looked at everybody's faces. Can I just look at hers specifically? She's the one who wants to go down the most.
I also really want to go down.
Yeah, that's true. Can I just do a face check?
Yeah, do you want to do a perception or you want to do like an investigation? How close to Artie's and how obvious are you being when you're looking at Artie here?
I don't want to be obvious.
Okay, so make a perception check. You're just kind of
Okay.
trying to not make it too obvious that you're looking her over.
25.
You take the opportunity glancing at her through your various sensory organs, trying to get a sense of what's going on. The glasses seem to be throwing you off just a little bit, but you feel like it could still be your old Artie.
Okay. All right. Let's just stick together. Go down then.
I'm fully willing to come back up here and investigate after, but I feel danger is down and we must deal with it.
Deal with the
I really
danger.
thought it was funny when Artie rolled a natural 1 and then looks at her 3 party members and they're all just monster species. And
Yeah.
What are these?
have I always been with monster species?
Goodness.
Well, you are on basically the mid deck right now, and you want to go to the bottom deck, which is the main cargo deck. So instead of staying where you are, you all just turn the corner and go down the stairs, and you now find yourselves on the main cargo deck. And as you come down, there is a large set of doors that are easily 10 feet wide that are closed that indicate the cargo deck is to the aft or to the west if you're looking at this from a map perspective. Directly south from your current position is a room marked as the armory. And then you look to the fore and you see that there are a series of rooms that are marked as additional crew quarters and the main gangway. As you look down this long hallway to the front of the ship, you see that there is a space that could be lowered as a gangway if this vessel was ever on a land or a dry dock where it could actually have people coming and going from that perspective. So you have multiple places to go. Directly to your west, to your east is this main cargo hold. To the west, or towards the fore of the ship, is the main gangway. You got an armory to your south, and then to the west, 2 different areas marked as crew quarters.
Oh, the armory. Start walking towards the armory.
Definitely want to check out the armory, but Artie, is that draw in any direction in particular to any
Feel
room?
stronger now that we came down?
Yeah,
maybe?
is it stronger? Does
Because
it
if
feel...
the draw is in the armory, then no sense going there before.
I'm going to really put my hands on you and try to help you attune to this feeling as a telepathic person and
attune
give
to a
you
nice
guidance.
roll.
Yeah.
You got
really
guidance.
thinking.
Go ahead and go give me another wisdom check with this, as you're trying to see where the psychic emanations are coming from.
It's a 3. I don't have wisdom. I'm smart, but I'm not wise, you know?
I know. Understandable. It's
Artie,
just unfortunate.
as you're trying to focus on this, you suddenly hear it loud and clear, a call that is feminine, a voice out in your ears, a desperate cry for help, and you are compelled, you run towards those cargo bay doors, which open of their own accord, and you rush into the main cargo hold. The rest of your team watches maybe a little bit in shock as you run in there, and the cargo hold doors sliding open. You see that the cargo hold used to be stacked with what would be considered really well organized crates and cargo containers. It's massive. This cargo hold is taking up at least 200 feet by about 60 or 70 feet. It is huge. And as she runs in there, you see that crates have been smashed open, their contents littering the ground, mixers with blood and half-chewed rations, walls all scored and battle marked with like claw marks and scratching along layers of filth. Something foul is seeping from the corners and pooling on the floor with nauseating blends of unknown fluids. There is debris and detritus everywhere. And as you rush in, you can just see Artie. To the very back of this cargo room is a small, narrow wall that inside of it says jettison. And you feel the absolute compulsion to go towards those jettison doors that are set at the aft of this ship that are a good 200 feet away from you across this maze of strewn debris and collapsed cargo containers.
I'm sure she knows what jettison means, but I don't. So is that like a exit chamber, or what is?
It's like a place where you could seal things behind a pressurized room, close it off, and then open and vents whatever is in there into the astral sea.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you go running into the cargo room. What's everyone else doing?
Just
so not the armory.
My movement speed is only 25 feet, by the way,
Okay.
just so that we're aware.
All right. Well, thank God for that.
I'm small.
I'm going to just, I guess, hurry after Artie and just be like, is this the way?
Anyone else doing anything?
Yeah, if somebody's taking action, I'll just run towards the action.
Okay. Everybody goes running in after Artie. You get in there. You stop short, Artie, because right in the middle of where you're trying to run, you see that there have been meticulously arranged on a bizarre altar made of like crates and wires and scrap metal. There are 3 power crystals set in it, and the whole setup is surrounded by spiraling blood-soaked symbols that are scrawled on the floor. Even as you approach it, you hear guttural whispers that seem to be growing louder as you approach this altar. And from the way this is set up in the middle of the floor, off to the sides, you see organic debris that is just laying about.
She reads a lot of books, so like have I read about these symbols before? Like, would I have seen them anywhere?
It is enough of a distraction that for a moment that tug has calmed. Make an Arcana check.
Pretty good. 26.
Yeah. These recall thoughts of the dead language of the Illithid, a race that no longer communicates, or almost never communicates, in a written form. It conjures images of the old gods, of the creeping things that rise from the darkness. As you are looking at this, you all hear a slithering, scraping noise. There is a mass of flesh that is bloated to unnatural proportions, a massive compilation of jittering tissue that pulses and sways, slowly rising from the deck like it can barely contain the gas-filled remnants and toxic fluids that are churning within it. The amalgamated flesh is covered with necrotic-looking sores and patchy, rotting skin that is sloughing off with each grotesque movement. From deep within its ruptured belly, you see bones and half-decayed organs that can be seen straining against the taut, discolored skin, creating a shifting, writhing underlayer that makes this creature appear disturbingly alive. You actually see that multiple faces from its component bodies are stretching and reconfigured in horrific positions, a pockmark on its own abdomen. Faces are frozen in expressions of agony and terror, their mouths gaping and eyes empty, yet some of them twitch occasionally, producing low, guttural moans as if still conscious of their own torment. Clusters of blackened, gnarled tendrils protrude from the mass, resembling a grotesque parody of tentacles. Each tendril is tipped with a bloated finger, partially decomposed and twitching like it's searching the air blindly as if tasting for prey. At intervals, these tendrils exude a foul, decomposing corpse-like odor that threatens to make you retch uncontrollably. And occasionally, fluids of various viscosity are oozing from open wounds and ruptures on this form, pooling to the ground and emanating hissing vapor that reeks of death and decay. This creature is 25 feet away from the four of you gathered around this shrine, and I need initiative rolls from all of you.
Oh, I already got a 1. She's just not having it. Oh my god.
The Artie won. Who got the other one?
Well, I mean, +4, so it's 5. But
okay. Goolian got a 5.
I mean, mine's a 3, so if that.
Okay. It might matter.
But, yeah. I mean, it's a 1. Yeah. Anyway.
Oof.
Okay. Bug, what'd you get?
A 10.
Nice. And Glorp.
13.
We appear to have found the source of danger.
Okay, and it got a 7. Okay.
Oh, fuck
so
yeah. Okay.
Turn order is actually going to be Glorp, Bug, The Thing, Goolian, and Artie. So it is 25 feet away. If you are thinking about this as a room, you guys are all clustered roughly in the middle of it. It is extremely long. You've got a solid 125 feet of length across it, but the width is only 50 feet wide. You are situated in essentially the middle back third of the room towards the western wall. This thing is 25 feet away from you, so it is going to be basically in the middle of this room, rising up 25 feet away from you.
Wait, how big is the creature? 125 feet?
No, the room is 125
Oh, the
feet.
room. I was like, oh my god. Okay, yeah. Got it.
Oh, but this creature, it is large. It takes up a 10-foot square. It is just a very large creature. Around you, there are all kinds of debris, crates turned over, cargo containers, and the like. So there is plenty of place if you wish to try to hide behind things to find that. So I will start at the top of the turn order with Glorp.
I'm going to move diagonally. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just say to the right, to the point where I'm 15 feet away.
Okay.
But just creating a little space for my allies, but getting a good angle, a good distance. And then I'm just going to do what I do best, start throwing daggers, or just throwing darts, but also a dagger.
You said you're moving to the right. So in this space, I'm just thinking north, south, east, west. Would you be going, because this thing is essentially 25 feet to your east, would you be going the west,
so
north,
to the south then?
South, okay. Okay, and where you are down
away.
15 feet away, there would be some partial cover for some crates if you wanted to be behind those.
Perfect.
Okay.
I won't move in a position that would hinder my shots, but it'll be nice to have cover if needed.
Yep.
That moment after.
All right, so go ahead and Yeah, roll some attack rolls for me.
Luckily, just 11 to hit.
An 11 will not hit.
I'll be throwing my bonded dagger as part of the action.
Okay.
14 to hit.
A 14 will hit.
It's going to be 9 damage plus
Okay.
the DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, it failed.
So 2d4 more damage. It'll be 7 more damage.
And what kind of damage is that?
It's poison damage.
Okay.
So drawing another dart as part of my throw. It's my master. I'm going to throw it as my bonus action. Throwing that's going to be a 21 to hit.
Okay.
That's for 8 damage plus another DC 12.
All right, and yep, that's going to be a success.
Yep. And then my extra attack, I'll be throwing another dart as part of the throw.
Mm-hmm.
28 natural 20.
Nice.
It's that one.
Roll your damage, and we'll double the dice roll. Nice.
14 damage and then DC 12.
Okay, perfect. Succeeds.
Okay. And just like a basic perception thing, this seems to be like far more of a threat than the other stuff we faced up top.
It is significantly larger.
Very large.
And as you've been trying to see its reaction to your natural Grung poison, it seems to be completely unaffected.
Okay. I'll go ahead and use my action surge.
Okay.
Taking another attack.
Good call.
So I'll throw another dart. So 19 on the dice, so 27 to hit.
Nice.
It's 11 damage. And if it's unaffected by the poison, we don't have to even bother.
Yeah.
That's all good. Huh?
But it's also action surge is part of attack, and I can draw and throw something that's part of the attack as well, so I can like do my second dagger.
Okay.
I mean, you
Let's
should
check
get
that.
2 attacks anyways, like a fighter, right?
Yep.
Which I already did. I did my
Yeah,
main
Yeah,
attack
but with
the dagger as
with
part of
the
it, and then
action
bonus, and then
with
second
the
attack.
action surge, you should get 2 more, like because your attack action has 2 attacks, right? So if you action surge to get another attack action, no matter what, you get 2 attacks, right?
Does you take 1 additional action?
Yeah, and your attack action is a multi-attack of 2 attacks.
So you get 2 actions.
Ah,
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna throw my second dagger first. As part of that first attack. That's another natural 20.
Hell,
Nice.
Getting a 13 damage. And then that second attack then, which would be another dart drawn, will be a 18 to hit
All right.
for 9 damage.
Perfect. You toss all of these darts just wailing at it. You see these shreds streaking across its body, and it takes multiple hits, and it's looking like you did some damage. Some of the tendrils, some of those fingers, some of those faces, just not as good as they were, but it still seems to be a large and constant threat looking at you.
Okay, that's my turn.
All right. As this ends your turn, it takes a legendary action to move all the way up into the center of where all 3 of you are still grouped.
fuck.
And it's going to take a single attack against one of you. Let me see here. Oh, so it's going to make a single attack against Artie.
Is it within 5 feet of me?
It is.
I would like to have Cece impose disadvantage with her reaction.
Beautiful.
My steel defender will do that. So whatever
Awesome.
it is at disadvantage.
Good kitty.
Good kitty.
Well, that went from a 23 to a 12. So,
Yo, let's go. It doesn't hit.
yeah. So it tries to flail at you, and you are shocked to see something this large and this gross with all these decomposing and amalgamated body parts just kind of slither very quickly up to you and try to attack you, but your battle companion blocks that attack. It is
Good
now
girl.
within 5 feet of Bug, Goolian, and Artie. If the three of you are kind of standing in a line, it is right up there within 5 feet of all three of you. And so now we are to Bug, then you've got its turn, and then Goolian on deck.
Yeah, man, there's never been a better time to use that other Spirit Guardians cast, I don't think, than right now. So my antennas start vibrating like crazy. I channel the spirit of my whole dead hive to make like a million fucking lightning bugs in this aura just to try to keep this thing away from my friends. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw whenever it enters the area of the emanation or whenever I...
Now, one thing, as you're starting a turn within 10 feet of this creature, this stench, this horrid odor of death and decay is absolutely nauseating. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me as the start of your turn.
I bet a 5 succeeds, right? I don't have inspiration, right? It was other people who got it. Can I apply the one from our home game to this? All right, take the 5.
So you are poisoned. You can try at the start of each of your next turns to save, but as you are poisoned, you have disadvantage on any attack rolls or ability checks.
Wow. Oof. Thank God the spell I chose is you rolling and not me. So.
Yeah, so what's the save I'm doing here for?
DC 15 wisdom save.
Okay, I got 20.
20. So you'll take half damage on 3d8 radiant damage. So you'll take 5 radiant damage from that. And its movement is halved as long as it's within the 15-foot emanation as well. And if it ends its turn there, or wait, is it? Whenever an emanation enters a creature space, whenever a creature enters the emanation, or ends its turn there, yeah. So if it ends its turn within the emanation, it will have to make that save again at the end of its turn.
Okay, very good.
Cool. So that's my action. Does this seem like the type of thing I want to risk the opportunity attack from to get away? I mean, if I do it, then that means it can't use its reaction. Or wait, its turn is right after mine, so it can still get one of you on your turn with a reaction. I don't want to abandon you guys. But if you move, then what's the point? So I'll stay right here. Okay. I just don't think he would. If it was that like one of you was right after me and I thought, okay, I can take the hit and then it won't have a reaction to hit one of you, I would do it. But the fact that its turn is coming up next means it's going to get its reaction again. So it's just not worth it to me. I will stand my ground and just channel my spirit guardians in this spot to try to protect the rest of the people.
All right. So it's taking its turn next. You see its bulbous abdomen like contracts, and then it seems to like hear some snapping and crackling of bone, and you see some of its body heal a little bit as it uses digest, and it regains 2d10 hit points.
What the fuck?
Which is only 8 hit points, but it regained 2d10 hit points.
Not too bad, I guess.
And
did nothing.
Now it is going to make a multi-attack, and it does a multi-attack against Goolian, who is right in front of it. So Goolian, 2 attacks coming at you. Sorry, 3 attacks coming at you. So first one is a 22 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna hit.
Second one is going to be only a 10 to hit.
That misses.
Third one is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So the first one is, oh wow, double ones for 4 points of bludgeoning damage. However, it'll also be 9 points of poison damage.
I have defenses against acid and poison.
So I
have resistance.
You would have the poison damage then.
Okay, so that was 4 of bludgeoning, and then how much of poison?
It was 9 poison, so that half of that's going to basically be 4.
Okay,
you round
so just
out.
8 total. Right.
8 total. And now for the second to hit. Oh gosh, I am rolling like crap. So that's only another 5 points of bludgeoning damage and another 7 points of poison damage.
Rounded down
So-
to
3, yep. So that's it. That is its turn, and it makes no other changes.
Doesn't try
So-
to move, so it has to make the wisdom save again for the spirit.
Okay,
guardians.
great, thank you. Wisdom save, nat 20 for a 22.
All right, so it will take half damage again, but that's better than no damage.
This is true.
It is going to take 7 damage.
Okay. All right, with the 7 damage, that's it. Goolian, it is your turn with Artie on deck.
Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I didn't see this. Is it possible to go back to when I got hit and use Uncanny Dodge? Because that would just have one of the attacks damage. I didn't know that I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you wreck on that. Get
Okay,
back.
thank you.
Yeah,
But
go
just
ahead
4.
and get back.
I could just
The
get,
last one was 4, yeah. So
yeah,
you
just get
could-
back 4 points because I think most of them were damage for 8. If you're cool with that.
Goolian, I need you to start your turn with a Constitution saving throw.
18.
That saves.
Perfect.
You are immune from needing to make any further Constitution saves because of this horrible odor.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, I need a little more info about this room. There's a whole jettison section, right?
It is. There's a jettison section, but it is completely all the way across from where you are. From your current position, it is roughly 80 feet away.
Does this creature look like it would fit in the jettison section?
It's got a large set of doors over there, so it certainly could if you could get it into it.
I'm more interested in baiting this thing to get jettisoned than fighting it, quite honestly, especially if it can heal. But it's like, between us, all of us, because we're like on this side, and the jettison door is it, right?
So basically, yeah, you guys are only about 10 feet away from the cargo doors you came into. It has come up right in front of you, and the jettison doors are closed 80 feet to the opposite side of the room.
Okay. Is there, and then around us, you said there's boxes and stuff where we could take
There's-
cover.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
there are crates and boxes kind of everywhere. If you can pretty much go anywhere and try to find cover any direction you want to go in.
Okay.
This place is absolutely a littered cargo hold.
So I'm gonna just yell to the team that I think we should try and jettison this thing, make our way to the other end of the room at least, and then can I move towards some cover without provoking an opportunity attack?
If you use your action to disengage, you can absolutely do that.
I mean, I think I need to do that because I took a pretty nasty hit, so
Okay.
I'm gonna do that, but I want to start moving towards the end of the room, so whatever direction that is.
Yeah. How
the
much
jettison.
movement speed do you have?
Where does it show me that?
Movement speed should be right at the top of the sheet next to your proficiency bonus and like health amount.
Oh, 30 feet.
Okay. So with 30 feet of movement, is your goal just to get as close to those jettison doors as possible, or do you want to position yourself to where you can be behind cover and still maybe attack this thing from what you might perceive as its back?
We'll take the second option.
Okay. So
Whatever, but it's still in that direction of the jettison doors. But, you know, if it's not as
Yep.
far, but I can attack, let's do that.
you got from your current position, you are now behind this creature. You have you're 15 feet away from it, but behind cover. So you are under total cover when you want to, and you can peek out and you can also hit it because you are behind a large pink appearing cargo container. And you are now, from where you've moved, you are about just shy of 50 feet away from the cargo bay doors. You got a lot closer to them.
And I can't attack or anything, right? Because I used my
You
turn.
can have unless you've got a bonus action.
I don't.
Use disengage to move out of its space without provoking an opportunity attack.
Isn't he a rogue?
Aren't you
So
a
he can do
rogue?
that as a bonus action. So he should
Oh, I
still
can?
have an action.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
attack
then
with.
we're gonna attack it.
Okay. And because this thing is basically got 3 of the people on one, you can have advantage on the attack because it's basically engaged 3 things at once right here. So that would
perfect.
allow you to use your sneak damage
Hell yeah.
If I hit it. So
if you hit it.
first,
You're gonna.
roll for
'cause you
hit
get
with advantage,
to hit.
and that's a nat 20.
Hell.
Well,
yeah.
that's going to hit.
Hell yeah. Double that
Nice.
sneak attack damage.
So let's
Yeah.
figure out this damage first. 16 crit. It says crit 16.
Yeah, that
Yep.
means it already did the doubled the dice for you, basically.
Oh, perfect.
So, on
and
that.
then the sneak attack is 11.
Was that also doubled automatically? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I did 3d6, so
It only did 3d6 on his.
Yeah, so
it
it's-
only did 3d6. I don't
So it would
think
be
doubled.
22.
Yeah, from that
Double it.
instead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
But to bring him down though, I flubbed on my turn and added my extra bonuses that I should have added on my bonus attacks, the 2 of them that I took.
Oh.
So he would have taken 10 less damage from me total.
Okay, perfect.
It would have
I'm
been
gonna cut
54
that out.
piercing non-poison.
Cut that out.
Cut this from the episode, Scott.
Here, cut.
Nobody's tracking its health. Nobody knows, but we know. So that's fine.
I also forgot that my darts are vexed, so I could technically roll with advantage after my attacks.
Oh,
But that would be on me. That's fine.
Well, that's fine.
I did roll 2
Next
natural
time.
20s after my darts, so
Yeah.
okay.
I think
I
overall it's
also
good
forgot
enough.
that my armor class is actually 38, so I just had nothing.
My channel divinity says I can turn any illithid monsters like to our side, so I think it's just
There
on
you
our
go.
side now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feature that says I'm the DM now, so I can now just do whatever I want.
Oh, cool.
That's,
Julian, was there
that's
anything
the
else
end
you
of
want to
mine.
do on your turn?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you are 15 feet away from this corpse amalgamation. You are behind cover, and you are about 50 feet away from the jettison doors, which are to your east. So we now have Artie, who is up, and as a legendary attack, this thing is going to swing at Artie again and go for a 12 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
Will
Love
it
it.
try to attack and fail? So Artie, I need you to make
Okay.
a Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn.
Okie dokie. 22.
You save and are immune to this horrific stench that is trying to overwhelm you.
Nice. Okay. So how big across is this blob thing? You said 10 squares. Is it like
No,
Like, so
10
it takes up
feet.
4
It's basically
oh,
10
it's-
feet, yeah. 10 by
Okay.
10. Mhm. It's big.
Okay.
It's a large creature.
big boy? Okay. So if I think I was running toward the jettison and now it's in front of me, right? So the jettison is still in front of me.
It, yeah.
Behind it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay, because I'm in melee with it. So I'll stay in melee, but I want to get on like around the other side of it.
Okay.
So that way, like now my back is to the
The jettison.
jettison. Yeah.
Okay.
And I will just. I'll try something. So I'm gonna try to okay. First up, I'll step like, with try to get out of its melee. So like I'll try to back up like 10 feet.
Okay.
Is it going to attack
It'll use a
me?
reaction to attack you as you're trying to get out of it. So it takes a wide swing with one of these black tendrils that has look like fingers on the end of it, but the fingers are at the tips just down to the bone. It looks sharp. So it's going to be only an 11 to hit. So it
doesn't hit.
Swings wide. So you are able to get behind it. Now, how much movement do you have?
I have 25, so that's probably as far as I can go, which is fine. But then I want to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Okay.
It's acid damage, and I don't know why in my head I feel like it should get damaged by acid damage. But it needs to make a dex save of 15.
Yeah, you think something that this big probably doesn't have a lot of dexterity. You'd be correct because it rolled a 10.
Nice. Okay, so it will take not a lot of damage. 2d4 of acid damage. Oh, 2 4s, so that's 8.
Nice.
8 acid damage, and I think, hold on, let me double check. So I'm angling this because it's a line of 30 feet. So I'm basically doing it so it'll like clip the side of it, but not my friends that are in front of it. It's only a 5 foot, but it's 30 feet long, but 5 foot wide.
Perfect.
So now there's just kind of like a line there. So guys, don't maybe go in that.
How does it look? How do you emanate this caustic brew?
I would say that it's probably like oil. The best I can describe it, like just nasty like motor oil or something. Like, I mean, flavored to be like that. But yeah,
absolutely.
It's just gross. But it also, the creature is covered in acid and it takes 2d4 damage at the start of each of its turns.
So he has to use...
It's up to a minute. Up to a minute. It's concentration up to a minute. Okay. So there we go.
All right,
and so that was, that's my action and my movement. I don't have a bonus action, but my Steel Defender does go right after me, so I'll just do that quick. But all that she's gonna do is she'll just like follow me, so she'll use her movement to now be next to me.
Okay.
I mean, she has an attack. I mean, she's not very good at it, but I'll use it.
I was gonna say your bonus action is commanding it to do anything.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, so I can.
So you can command it to attack with your bonus action.
Absolutely.
I will command it to attack. Let's see. It's a D20. Whatever this is +7. Oh, not great. That's a 10.
10 is not going to hit. It tries to bite into this seething mass, and it seems like it's biting almost into jello as it sinks and moves through. So we're going to be going, after your turn, it's going to be Glorp and then Bug. As a legendary action, it will lash out towards the only person who is still in its range, which is Bug. And, it's honestly a decent hit. It's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. Single attack. It's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning and 8 points of poison damage.
Okay. And I succeed on my concentration saving throw to keep Spirit Guardians up.
You are awesome, sir.
Or wait, I'm poisoned, so I have to make that with disadvantage.
No, disadvantage, yes, you do.
I still barely succeed on my concentration saving throw.
Go.
Perfect. Clutch save. Okay. We are now top of the turn order. Glorp, you are behind cover. You are essentially southwest a little bit of this monstrosity, about 10 feet away.
Okay. And which direction did Goolian run towards? Saying about
Goolian is basically about 30 feet to your east, but just a little bit north of you, behind cover as well.
Okay. And the Jezen Chambers are to the east as well?
The Jezen Chambers are to your east. From your position, as the crow flies, they are about 80 feet away.
Okay. I'll go ahead and take my attack actions first. I'm just going to end up throwing 3 darts total. So first is my regular attack. It's blocking my view. Get out of the way, dice. The virtual dice is on top of the result. 25 to hit.
That's a hit.
Cool. So that would be 11 damage.
Hurts.
And then the second dart will have an advantage because of Vexed darts hitting. So the first roll is only a 13. The second roll is also a 13.
Well, they hit. So
Awesome.
pick one of those 13s and it hits.
Nice.
Ignore that number. It's only 6 damage.
Okay.
And then my second attack, which also has advantage because that target's hitting. First roll is going to be 24, which will hit, but the chance for a crit doesn't happen. So it's just a regular hit for 10 damage.
Okay, perfect.
Nice.
And then I'll just move. Also remember a sharpshooter, so I'll have disadvantage at the longer range increments. So I'm just going to move 50 feet away from the monster towards the jettison chambers.
Okay, that puts you closest to it. You're actually now behind where Goolian is. And also, after these series of attacks, it's looking really rough. It looks like it's having a harder time keeping its body together. It's looking like it's in bad shape.
In that case, I probably won't go that far.
Okay.
In case you were to reveal something, I'd probably just be standing like 20 feet behind it.
Okay. 20 feet behind it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Still have a tactical like positioning.
Yep, you got it. So I basically got you bunkered down behind the same large cargo container that the Goolian side behind.
Okay. That'll be my turn.
All right. It doesn't take any actions as it seems to be a little bit hurt and damaged here. So we're going to go to Bug with it on deck and then Goolian.
Bug is going to first try to move in the same direction everyone else has gone. I want to move 20 feet away from the...
basically east.
Yeah.
20 feet, got it.
I don't know if it has... I mean, I know it already used an opportunity attack before on Artie. I don't know if because it's a monster, if it has another one that it can use on me here.
Yeah, it does not seem to react as you move out of its space there.
Right. As I'm moving out of its space, my antennas start vibrating. I start attuning to the frequency of the dead to channel Kelmvor, the god of death, to channel divinity to curse this creature with my channel divinity to make it vulnerable to all damage types on the next attack that hurts it, basically.
Nice.
And then because I've moved 20 feet away from it, I'm going to move 5 feet closer to it again to get it back within the 15-foot emanation of my Spirit Guardians to trigger the effect of the Spirit Guardians on it. So now it has to make the Wisdom saving throw because I've entered its space. And no matter what, it's at least taking 3d8 because it's vulnerable to all damage types.
Well, it failed its Wisdom saving throw.
Awesome. So now it's going to take double damage from this one. So that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. Let's see. It's vulnerable to everything. It takes 17, I guess, times 2. So 34 damage, radiant damage on that hit.
Amazing hit.
I love it when a plan comes together and the dice really help me out.
This thing looks like it is barely clutching to whatever semblance of life it ever had.
Great. I wish I had any sort of bonus action to try to finish it off, but that is all I've got. So I'm going to stand my ground where I'm at, I think, right now.
Okay. It appears to be just horribly injured. It is creeping, crawling, slithering. It is actually making its way towards the west cargo doors. So
it does take acid damage at the start of its turn.
That's correct.
God, I hope it tries to get away and just melts.
I'll roll a 2d4.
Yep.
It's only 4.
Okay. Well, that's still 4 more damage.
Acid damage.
So it tries to leave whatever semblance of intelligence. It appears to be trying to slither out. So it actually makes it to the cargo bay doors and opens, and it's trying to get away from everyone. That's its turn. Goolian, you're up. It is now from your position. It is 40 feet away, and we've got Artie on deck.
Okay. I don't think we need to do anything fancy. I'm just gonna attack. It's vexed from before, so I got the advantage. Yes, I got an 18 to hit.
Which hits?
damage. 13.
You
Piercing.
crack off that weapon of energy. It smacks it, and it just carves this hole right through it, and the whole stinking mass rumples to the ground and lays there untwitching.
Oh, heck yeah.
You all take a moment to breathe while you're standing here looking about. Let's do a wisdom check.
Just flat wisdom check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Already got a 15.
Bug got a 20.
I got a 7.
11.
Okay. As you are all standing there, breathing heavily, Glorp and Goolian, you feel this firm tug to the aft of the ship, to those jettison doors. Bug and Artie, you're looking about, catching your breath, to now see to the north and south as you're kind of standing in the middle of this large main cargo deck. There are these big bay doors on either side that clearly could be used for loading and unloading cargo. You notice the one to the south looks to be pretty well, for lack of a better term, normal. There's no destruction to it. The one to the north of you looks like somebody has intentionally sabotaged a control panel where it is a little bit damaged. Now, both of these doors have windows in them, so you can see that there is a small, probably about a 5-foot chamber that could be used as an airlock between the outer doors of the ship. And so you can, if you choose to look through these doors to see what's going on, you could do that.
That's what I choose to do. When the DM tells me I can choose to do something, I choose to do it.
So, okay. Bug and Artie, are you looking at the ones that's to the south that's undamaged, or are you looking at the one that's damaged to the north?
I think I would look at the one that's damaged to the north, personally.
Okay.
I can help with that.
Okay, great. Give me an investigation check with help, so with advantage. And then for Goolian and Glorp, you are each basically completely compelled to walk to right in front of the jettison bay doors. So while the other two are looking and investigating these cargo bay loading doors, you've gone back to the jettison doors. What was that investigation?
I wasn't sure if you were asking me or Artie, but I rolled with advantage. I got a 13.
Yeah, that was what I was looking for. Bug, as you and Artie are peering in, you have become a bit immune to some of these psychic emanations, and things that have or could have been unseen are now seen. And you look in and you see between the two doors, just sitting there underneath a tarp that is just about the same color as the walls, you see what looks like covered furniture, 2 pieces of covered furniture that are between the doors. Goolian and Glorp, you're both standing in front of these jettison bay doors. There is a window in this as well. As you both look in, you see a stasis pod. The structure set, leaning back with this glass over the front of it so that you can see arcane symbols on the bottom and top, and a little bit of power signature as these lines of energy run around it. Through the glass, you see a woman.
It's probably what's
frozen
her name?
In there, eyes almost open, but completely unmoving. And as you look in on her, you both get that strong sense of a woman's voice saying, "Help me, release me."
Can I just jettison out the cryo? Can I just hit the jettison button? I don't know, man. I don't want to deal with this thing.
is there any kind of sense that Glorp would have to feel like he's being compelled to do things that he wouldn't normally do right now?
We're going to have you both make wisdom saving throws, because on either side of this chamber, there are a panel of buttons, and we're going to see which one of you does what.
I got a 17.
Okay. So Goolian got a 17 and Glorp?
I was trying to look up real quick. If I'm going to use my inspiration, do I have to declare it before rolling?
No, you can make the roll, see the result, and then before I tell you what the result is, you can decide whether you want to use your inspiration.
Is it wisdom saving throw, you said?
Yes.
I got an 18. I'll just stick with that.
Okay.
Hey.
Let me do
plus one wisdom, so I'm not going to use inspiration on a 17 roll.
And do Artie and I hear any voices from the couch in the room that we're looking at? You know, is it compelling?
No, you don't. You don't
It's
get
just a
any.
couch.
You don't get
Couch
any
in
kind
here.
of. You don't get anything from that one. So I'm going to just do a quick check here. Okay. So, Goolian, what was your instinct to do?
I want to jettison that pod, dude. We've read about the captain's thing. You know she's probably the source of the infection. I don't want to deal with that. I want to jettison it.
Goolian, you go to jettison the pod. Glorp, you see him reaching for the controls. You want to open the door. You don't want to jettison the pod. I need you both to roll dexterity to see who is going to reach the controls first.
Hold on.
Just a normal dexterity.
Yes, a dexterity check.
I don't know if I want inspiration on this one, I'll be honest.
Well, Will, you also have
I
inspiration.
also have an inspiration,
so
yeah.
I would just say maybe now's a good time to use it. Maybe, Will. I don't know.
Well, I know what Glorp rolled and I know what I rolled. So.
Yeah, I'm like pretty sure I, as a player, agree with Goolian here, but Glorp. But inspiration is a player choice, not a character choice, as far as I understand it.
That's correct.
To use the inspiration. So I think as a player, I would agree with Goolian, even though I typically like confirming information before saying yeet on a creature that's alive. But
sometimes you just gotta yeet it.
He's doing what she asked. She asked to be released, and this is releasing her into fucking.
Not necessarily
I
for the pod.
perceive that as releasing this chamber, so she comes out with us here. you can't just say, yeah, we're releasing her.
She's released.
Also, part of me wants to, like, if it is an evil creature, just want to kill it as a Glorp thing.
I feel like that would kill it. What are you
That's
doing,
a tough
man?
call.
Goolian is reaching for the jettison to activate the chamber to open the basically the doors to void
Would that
it
affect us?
to the
Or-
well. There's
oh,
a
it's
door
a-
between
it's
you
a
and
seal
there's a
after
void
that.
to there's doors to Astral Sea. As he's reaching for it, you are compelled to stop him. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to, but you have the dexterity to be able to stop him.
You rolled 11, I rolled 12. Come on now.
Yeah, I rolled lower than him, actually. So I don't...
Oh, I misread that. So you read lower. Yeah. So you go
Yeah.
to try to stop him, but
Which is interesting, because my wisdom save was higher than his.
Yeah.
I feel like...
yep. But depends on how the DM rolled.
Does she, as he's going to do that, I'm going to spend a moment to look. Does she have any kind of like identification on her at all? Like a badge or anything?
Make an investigation check as Goolian mashes the jettison button.
15.
Get out of there.
You just make out on her uniform, just through the glasses, almost a little bit frosted from the stasis that is cold, that it says Tolera. As you are trying to read all of this, the door opens and is sucked out into the void. You see the stasis pod go spinning end over end. And I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Good. That was the thing protecting us all. Shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
I'm glad I saved my inspiration.
Yeah,
Artie and Bug too. Yeah, everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
we don't get to know what happens before we use inspiration, right?
That's correct.
Very good.
You don't need
I
to.
think I'm just gonna do it. Actually,
Yeah, I rolled a 5. I'm gonna go ahead and use my
I
inspiration.
also rolled a 5, so I'm.
That seems
I'm
wise,
inspired.
guys.
That's fair. 18 total.
Okay, hold
take that
on.
one.
Artie got a 20. Non-natural 20.
Thank you for respecting
Okay.
the order, Goose.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
so Artie got a
trying.
20. Bug, what'd you
I was
get?
too hyped.
Honestly, my worst one of the night, I feel like a 15.
Okay, 15. And Goolian, what'd you get?
I used inspiration. I got a 15.
Okay. And then we're going for Glorp. What'd you get?
Got an 18.
18. Okay. So, Goolian and Bug, you take the full brunt of a psychic scream of pain. The rest of you saved, but the psychic stream of absolute agony and frustration that comes emanating as this creature who maybe once was Talra got ejected into space rocks your heads. You are taking, let me get some dice here to roll.
Just keeps pounding, just hammering dice.
So 19 points of psychic damage,
Oh,
which if you saved, you take half, which is going to be rounded down to, so 19, it's actually going to be rounded down to 9. And then, but the rest of you take the full 19. So it's going to be Goolian and Bug taking 19 points of psychic damage.
Can I uncanny dodge that somehow, or is that only?
Can't uncanny dodge that one as you
Okay.
are rocked hard. But as soon as that passes, you feel this pressure start to ease and no longer feel that constant headache behind your eyes.
That's nice.
Sick.
Bug like crumples to the ground with 3 HP remaining after that shit. So just
I'm gonna go over and I'll cast Cure Wounds on Bug. So you get oh my god, you get 5 HP back.
I'll take that.
Hey.
I will appreciate it, and I'll cast it on myself as well in this moment. Thank you. I didn't do much better. 10 more, but I'll take it. Whew.
There you go.
Do you have any healing potions, Bug?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did get a bunch of healing potions.
I
didn't
would
we?
like
Right.
to
Oh,
use
yeah.
my potion of healing greater on myself. Sorry, Bug.
That's fine. I have 3
also-
potions. I spent like all my money on potions of healing when we.
Goolian, what were you down to?
I'm at 12. And then how do I?
I don't know. Just do the numbers it says and add them to your thing, and just count it as used.
Yeah, 4d4 plus 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a superior healing for 8d4 plus 8. Baby, we're back. We're back to full health over here. I
Wow.
feel great.
Good job. Hold on. As you are standing there recovering from this, Artie, you look at those doors in front of you, and to know what's under those tarps, you're going to have to actually open the doors, but you can clearly see how to open just the ones on the inside, not open the other ones. I would assume you may be looking at that while Bug is healing himself.
So I'm going and looking at the stuff under the tarp.
You
That you
can.
said-
I'm saying if you wanted to see what
Oh,
was
you
under
can?
the tarp, yeah.
I
You just have
mean,
to open-
hell, why not? They're doing other stuff.
Yeah, the doors slide open with a mechanical, and in front of you, you see these, looks like 2 pieces of furniture covered in the tarp. And as you lift it up, you see the minor helm and a damaged but mostly present looking major helm. This ship's helms have been hidden here. Who knows how long?
Okay. Can I I have mending. Can I try to fix it?
You can absolutely try.
I would like to try. And I think I have something with the Artificer that, like, there's a lot of shit with the Artificer.
Yes.
But I have mending, so I'm going to at least try.
If anybody's going to be
It's
good
just
at
a
fixing
cantrip.
this stuff, I think.
Yeah. It's a cantrip. It says, the spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chair linked to halves of a broken key, blah, 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 blah. As long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it, leaving no trace of the former damage. The spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell can't restore magic to the item.
Right. As you look at this major helm, you see that many of its bits and pieces are there. You can absolutely repair it, but you can tell it's going to take some time. The question that the rest of you have to decide to do is, what are you doing next?
I mean, we're close enough to put one of these in to see if we can get the ship moving, right? Like,
Absolutely. You'd have to, best guess, you need to anchor it probably either back up in navigation or probably the Spelljammer's room. You guys could carry it up there.
that's my vote. I feel like
We seem to have eliminated the psychic disturbance. Repair ship and then complete search and salvage.
We still have the storm on its way, but
That's
if we
what I'm
repair the
saying.
ship, we
It's
can just
like-
fly the whole ship back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, either that or we can just fly the ship. If it doesn't have full capability, fly it out of the range of the storm headed toward us.
I like
We
that.
get more money with the whole ship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Conceivably.
Love that money. Let's go for that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll just take my time to just continually cast mending on it until...
I'll help her. I have
It
mending
seems
too,
fixed.
but I don't really know how to fix this kind of shit. But I use it for like scarves, but maybe you can give me instructions while we're going.
Yeah,
Well,
like
you-
an extra set of hands. 2 extra sets of hands.
With the 4 of you working together to carry would you take in the minor helm or the major helm? The major helm
I don't
was
know.
damaged. The minor helm did not look damaged, just not where it should have been.
I don't know enough
okay. I
to
thought
know
it
if
was
matters.
damaged.
Me as a player, I don't know the difference.
Yeah, I don't know if oh no, we took the minor one, now it doesn't work.
Well,
I don't want to do that.
they both can basically fly the vessel. The major helm is the one that requires the most attunement and gives you the most control. It's the one that the main Spelljammer would be able to use to fly the vessel. The minor helm can help with, running ship's defenses or helping to navigate. But if in a pinch, could be used for that as well.
If the minor helm can just get us out of the way of the storm, I would think that would be the preferable option then. Like, that's all I care about for right now. And then finishing our job.
In
Okay.
agreement.
Agreed.
You are able to pick up the minor helm then, and
With our net strength score of what, fucking like -3 combined.
0.
it's not great, but you're able to navigate it through the cargo hold, through all of the strewn different broken bits of crates and cargo containers, navigating past the stinking stench mass of the horrible amalgamation. You go up the stairs. You know there was probably a location in the Spelljammer's quarters which you've not explored, or you could take this all the way back up to the top deck, main deck, where you know that there's a place in navigation for the minor helm itself. Where would you guys take it?
I mean, we wanted to check out, I think the Spelljammer room, maybe because it's closer. We don't have to go upstairs.
way.
We're not very strong. And also,
It is.
she was the one infected with something. So maybe we can find a last bit of information on what it is we just dealt with in there.
All right, I like
you
that.
know?
You guys find your way back up to the mid deck, and coming off the stairs, the room right across from that stairwell is the Spelljammer's quarter. As you walk over to it, in the Spelljammer's room, you see what would have otherwise been a really well-appointed, very comfortable officers type chamber, something that would be second only to the captain's quarter itself. You see that just like many of the other rooms in this entire ship, that the walls have been smeared with handprints. that there are marks of a desperate struggle, excrement and blood that are frequently scattered about. The meditation mat on the floor around this, where the Spelljammer chair would be, has been tangled and moved aside, scraped. A foul stench is in the air, laced with that odor of rot and copper. You do find the location where you could slide that chair into it. And while you are looking, you do see that there are some of the foam-lined cases that could contain some of the major power crystals standing aligned in a row where it looks like they might be recharged by the major helm. As you bring the chair in and you slide it back into place, you see a little throb or pulse of energy, and you now realize the entire ship had been having almost like a dull whine on the back of your mind, but now it seems like it's like and like going from an engine that's out of tune, it sounds like it's more in tune as you slide it into place.
Installation successful?
I'm gonna have Artie give me an intelligence, or do an intelligence check.
23.
You have gotten that the minor helm is slid in. It feels like everything is right. It just needs somebody as a pilot.
Okay. Do I feel capable? This is a big ship. Have I dealt with anything like this before?
I don't think you would have necessarily dealt with something this size. In fact, most people haven't. This is on a size and scale larger than even some of the larger ships that are typically even found in the Astral Sea. However, you know enough and have piloted before that, especially when there is will, determination, and maybe a little bit of desperation, you could probably make it happen. So what are you guys doing?
I nominate Artie to control the ship and cast guidance immediately on anything that might need that.
But do you want me to do that now, or are we going to continue? I don't want to be here by myself if we're going to continue going around.
Bug, you had suggested this was where Talra was from. Go ahead and give me a quick history check.
She's chief engineer. My bad. I'm looking at our list. I got an 11 on my history check.
Okay. So you recall that she was the chief engineer, and that probably the officer's quarters just across the hall might give you more information if there was anything to be found about her. Mm-hmm. So let's do this. Before you plug Artie in, go explore the officer's quarters, plug her in, and then we can get that wrapped.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and check out the quarters.
Let's check that out.
Yeah, let's do that first.
I've been having good. I got +8 investigation, so I want to walk in there and investigate.
So you go down to the officer's quarters, and the whole place is just a bleak testament to chaos. Just like every other place you've encountered, the once elegant furnishings are scattered and destroyed. Pieces of wood, glass, and metal strewn across the room. Walls are covered and smeared with writing, some of them cryptic, some of them frantic messages, things like "it's in us," "the eyes are everywhere." The bunk is torn apart, sheets are soaked in dried blood, deep encrusted. You get a heavy sense of dread that still lingers in this room. You find a personal trunk lies open at the foot of a bunk. Its contents, uniform pieces, letters, and medals, scattered, seems to be even defiled. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, though, as you walk into this room.
18.
So it's Goolian. All right, 18. With an 18, you go through the trunk. You're looking for something to give you more information, and you do come across, another logbook.
Day mark 3. Early on. Chief Engineer's log, Talra Umberfin. Best shore leave ever. I haven't ever won so much on a single bet. The ebb and dice were so hot that it was like they were just giving the prize credits away. And the celebratory drink? Daddy said never trust it. Well, it doesn't matter. I was feeling no pain. My credit purse has never been this full, and I can't wait to spend it all. Day mark 2.
You should read the part after Daymark 2? Because the first thing you read was Daymark 3 at Zerial's Beacon.
It goes 3 and then... Oh,
it's
gotcha.
en route from Zerial's Beacon.
Gotcha. I looked in the mirror and I'm not entirely certain who is looking back. I remember the high. I still have most of the credits, yet I can't shake this sense of dread. I can feel it even now, deep in my skull, like a pressure. I thought it was just a hangover, but it's worse. A gnawing itch, something crawling, writhing beneath the skin. I swear I can hear it, whispering nonsense that I understand yet forget the moment I try to recall. Am I still drunk? Just nerves? Whatever this is, it's crawling into my dreams, filling them with dark seas and tentacles. Laughable, right? I'm sure it'll pass. There's always work to distract me. This is Daymark 3, en route from Zerial's Beacon to Radiance Rest. Strange things are happening to me. Can't sleep, and there's a clarity? I've had a vision, I think, a revelation. The Aria must drift. She must. Her helm is poison, and the small one too. I understand now. It's dangerous. I can see it glowing, and something dark lurks inside. I'll move it, hide it, then. Maybe I can fix it. Maybe just a bit. Better safe than sorry. They can't have it. They'll not need it. I'll do it at true night. Daymark 7, en route from Zerial's Beacon to Radiance Rest. They're watching me, aren't they? I see them whispering in the corridors, eyes darting away when I approach. They know I know. It's right beneath my skin, trying to dig through, feeding on me. The only safe place is inside. Nose won't stop running, taste of copper. Every time I lick it, my brain wiggles. So close now. They will come. They will hear. I can finally sense their tentacles reaching through the void.
Gnarly.
Does that make sense to any of us?
Make a group, probably do Arcana or Medicine check. Your call with that.
Okay.
So whatever you want, Arcana or Medicine, and once you make your roll, we'll start with Artie.
Already got a 13 on Arcana.
Bug got an 8 on Arcana despite having a +6, so that's good.
I got a 20.
Okay.
I got a natural 20 for 25.
Wow.
Okay, nice.
So you all are talking this through. You feel like you have to explain it to Bug a little bit, but I would love to hear what your theories are, and then I can help confirm it.
She got slugged, kid.
Slug? Like
Yeah,
a bug?
slugged. Yeah, it's probably the drink she drank. And slug kind of rolled into her brain and made her go crazy.
A lithid slug.
Yeah. Yeah, around these parts we call it slugged.
It does ring a little bit of alarm to all of you because you realize she was saying they are coming.
Yeah. that part.
And there might be some psychic emanations that were trying to draw others to this vessel. May make Artie decide it's time to go.
Immediate evacuation seems pertinent.
The faster we move the ship, then even if we're a little ways away, it will make a big difference.
You know, there was that purple cloud coming towards us slowly.
Psychic emanations from cloud match psychic emanations from slug inside of engineer.
Let's get out of here, Artie.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we can
Bunch
check
it.
off number 1, determine the cause of the vessel's drift. I guess.
You all get Artie into the helm. As you sit into the helm, Artie, you feel the ship as if it were a massive leg that has fallen asleep. It's numb. You don't have quite the dexterity around it, but as you sit and you concentrate with the help of everyone around you, go ahead and, as a pilot, go ahead and give me an intelligence check with advantage as you're working through.
And guidance.
I'll just guidance.
Okay.
Guidance and
Definitely.
advantage.
Okay. I'll roll the guidance quick. Why not? 23.
Awesome. Your senses start to expand, and you almost see yourself from a third perspective, not in the room of the Spelljammer, but of the vessel of its own. And you see this oncoming plane of a storm, and you can easily navigate either what we consider Z plus or Z negative to get under or over the storm. to get away from its rolling, almost like fog bank as it's coming towards you. What do you decide to do?
Up.
You go up.
I feel like people don't look up very often, so I'm going to.
You navigate the Brightwarden's Aria, and you feel these engines that have carried triumphant fleets against the Illithids and the Nautiloid threat for dozens of years kick in and back to some semblance of their former glory, as if the ship itself is excited to propel itself and move forward. You all feel a sense of relief as, for now, that total sense of dread that has been creeping and ever at the back of your mind starts to fade as the ship moves, and you can spend the next many days as it moves out of range to repair communications and to keep searching with a huge win and windfall of salvaging the majority of this ship and finding its crew. You have made a tremendous save and are going to be welcomed back as true victors as you return to Dawnstar Salvage Works later on in the flow of your amazing treasures. So as a quick check, how many people did you guys find, and how many of those crystals did you find? Did you count off?
I think it's 18 or 19 crew. 1, 2.
I count 19 crew.
19. Then we got 15 crystals.
Okay.
3 in the beetle food, 3 cases that had 8 crystals total, and then 1 power crystal you ripped from the gun. So that's 12. And then found 2 more that I grabbed from the beating crystals, whatever, from the crewmate.
I mean, if we had multiple days on this ship, like I feel like we would have gone through the crates.
I
like,
at least feel
Absolutely.
like we probably would have found any crew that were possible to find.
Right,
You guys have...
And then the one downstairs, 50 total.
You would have absolutely 100%ed the achievement list
if we had
for
days
this.
to look.
well,
the
not
Brightwarden
necessarily,
Aria.
because there's entrails. We probably don't know.
That's true. There might be some
the
people who were
entrails.
too eviscerated to even figure out what the hell they were or who they were.
Right.
Hands shaking, the Githyanki puts the book down, his mind reeling as he digests the final celebratory words of Lament of the Void. The lights in the Talltale had been flickering intermittently, not unusual occurrences aboard the Radiant Dock, but it had made the last chapter particularly frustrating to read over the past several minutes. He reaches for his drink only to freeze as he notices the bar is empty. He's alone. The stench of sulfur is now almost overwhelming, curling into his nostrils and setting his nerves on edge. The hairs at the back of his neck prickle, and a chill races down his spine as the unmistakable sensation of being watched settles over him. He glances over his shoulder towards the bar, where the warm and courteous bartender still stands. He leans slightly over the counter, propped up on extended arms, his usual good-natured smile curling beneath his brown mustache. But something's off. The lights flicker twice, and in the gut-wrenching moment between flashes, the Githyanki catches a glimpse of the bartender's face. Blank, flat, and utterly uncharacteristic, as though devoid of life. The smile is gone, replaced by an unnatural emptiness, and his eyes a red upon red, as if all the blood in his body had suddenly concentrated into those 2 round orbs now boring into him. When the light steadies, though dim, the smile has returned. It's the same comforting face as before, but now it feels wrong. Wolfish, predatory. The Githyanki begins to rise from his chair, eager to leave, though he isn't sure why. His nerves are jangling and his heart beats a rapid staccato rhythm in his chest. He looks back at the bartender one last time, and the grin has stretched wider, almost feral, while the sulfurous stench grows unbearable, strangling the oxygen from the bar. Breathing becomes a struggle. The lights wink out. Talltale Tavern is swallowed in darkness. For in the deep places of the universe, things do not go bump in the night. They slither.
Oof. That'll do it for this month's special one-shot Lament of the Void, everybody. Sit with that. Thank you to all our players this month. Will, Goose, Chad, and of course, thank you to our guest DM, Ryan, for his wonderful work. Woo, 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 woo. If you want to see the video of the episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Talltale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord too. Thank you to Tyler Adelsperger for our intro music. Thank you to Zaezar for our artwork. And with that, we'll see you next time at the Talltale Tavern.